Heresy, Whispers of the Eye. My name is Dylan. I am going to be your game master tonight, and we are the Inquisitive Warband. These are my 4 acolytes. If you guys could please introduce yourselves, we'll start with Spaz.
Hi everybody, I'm Spaz, and I'm playing the Adaptus Ministorum assassin, Lothos. And I'm hopefully here to, at least witness what's going to happen this session. Preferably the first 5 minutes, because that's going to be interesting.
Definitely.
If we all don't die.
If someone could, before we continue, turn on the stream on Twitch. The link is in the Discord, and just make sure our audio is coming through good and everything like that. Sorry for the confusion, everyone. While that's going on, hopefully you can hear me. If not, this is going to be pointless. But we are not going to be streaming the show on this channel. This is actually a total tabletop production, where we are hopefully going to stream. We're having a little tech issues right now, but you said audio is good, guys?
Sounded good to me.
Yeah. Awesome.
The echo is strong.
Is the echo strong for me?
Oh no, I'm just here.
It was just strong because it's delayed.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah, we're going to be streaming over there. We're going to be streaming hopefully every week, every Monday, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. But that's enough of that. Like I said, so if you want to follow tonight, if you tune in and you like what you see, be sure to go over to Total Tabletop and either sub or follow or do anything over there. I appreciate that you appreciate it, but this is for that. And Spaz, you already introduced yourself. Let's go to Brian.
Hi, I am Brian. I play Modius Skygar, the navigator of this band of misfits, I guess you could say. Recently introduced to the horrors of the world that I have avoided for way too long. I've been talked to by witches in my head, and not a big fan so far.
I mean, they're just witches.
They just want to be your friend.
They're just witches, and you only picked up one possibly cursed item.
I have not used it yet, but who knows? Could be a gift for one of my friends.
Yeah. No. All right. Joe.
Everyone, I am Joe. I am playing Phalos, our Adeptus Mechanicus, the tech priest, worshipper of the Omnisci, here to do his bidding for however much longer I can do so.
Quite a long time, since you're going to be mostly robot.
Exactly. If all goes according to plan.
Yeah, probably. You'll probably be okay. All right, and last but not least, Zach.
Right, I'm Barbosa, and I'm just trying to keep the rest of these lot from getting killed, because they don't know how to do nothing, right? So I keep an eye and pluck your heads on all the other witches and such.
Aptly said. And like I said, my name is Dylan. I'm the game master. And before we start with we'll do a quick recap. Like I said, please go over to Total Tabletop if you like the show. They have links to our Discord as well, and all kinds of fun stuff. We also have merch already for the show, even though this is our first stream. It's fantastic. If you not like a nice little Imperial Rosetta to show off your pure and unwavering faith in the God Emperor, head over to our merch store and check that out. But let's get a quick recap of our warband's entire journey. So, we started off about a day ago, if you can believe it, with our warband having been gathered from the far reaches of the system to the Inquisitor's ship, the Constant Vigil, which was in orbit over the besieged planet of Altheus, an agri world that had experienced a recent heretical uprising. The Imperial Guard, however, swiftly dealt with this radical and unforgivable crime by sending in waves of Imperial guards that happened to be in the area, swiftly crushing the opposition, and they were now moving upon the Imperial city of Altheus Prime. Meanwhile, our warband were taken to the Inquisitor ship, met with a Captain Cassandra Eoprim, who then in turn led them to the Inquisitor's quarters. The Inquisitor of the Grand Imperium of Man, a man of untold age and power, a powerful psyker, and the most powerful man in the system, who wielded the ability to decimate billions at a whim, stood before them, and with a few simple words initiated them into the Inquisition of the Imperium of Man. Their mission to hunt down the Xenos, kill the heretic, and purge any unclean that may threaten mankind in its global, interstellar expansion across the stars. Quickly after that, they were given a mission. Head down to the besieged city of Altheus Prime. Extract Lady Janita Brigio. Simple enough. The warband hung around the ship for a bit, met a few of the Inquisitor's retinue, had a brief interaction, let's call it, with the quartermaster of the ship, acquired some gear, and made friends with the Lieutenant Daniels of the Steel Legion, who were conscripted into the Inquisitor's service. They told him about their mission enough that he should know. And he decided to lead them to an Imperial Cadian autocarriage, a relic of an untold time, a planet lost to the forces of chaos, and they stole it. Having said that, they took the carriage down. After a brief and exciting Valkyrie flight, they landed on the planet, dealt with a few heretical scum that decided they would try to stand in their way, and made their way into a psychic miasma. They decided that this was the best route to take into the city, with the Imperial Guard shelling the east and the heretical forces having set up machine gun emplacements to the west. I don't know why they didn't go through the Imperial Guard foothold to the south. Couldn't tell you.
I voted for it.
He did vote for it. Modius did make the smart answer. You could have been a quick in and out mission, but no.
We
Which
heard
is to
which.
kill.
We heard
Well,
which.
yeah,
That was
we-
all
They
it was.
heard rumors of a psychic phenomena happening to the north of the city, and intrigued, they decided to try and hunt down the source. Upon entering the miasma, they found themselves hopelessly lost, and drove around in circles for a few hours. Fortunately for the warband, the call of nature did Modius to step out of the vehicle, where they realized that they had walked into a Imperial Guard ambush, the Catachin Commandos, having set up a little kill zone that they had almost driven right into. After some dick measuring, the Inquisition forced the Commandos to watch the car before hunting off for the witch, who they found, and who, through some abysmal rolls, had himself ripped into the Immaterium and was not killed, but he was dealt with. The miasma faded. The warband made their way back to the car to discover it, unfortunately, booby-trapped with artillery paint markers, effectively rendering them a target for both foe and friends across the large-scale battle taking place throughout the city. The warband tried to take the vehicle with them as much as possible, but after a few kilometers in the city, they decided that it was too much of a threat and hid it in an underground parking garage. They then continued on foot, surprising a Imperial Guard regiment who was literally seconds away from initiating an ambush. Things went a little sour when a small detachment took the warband and mushed them around the corner, while the rest of the regiment assaulted the position, now losing the element of surprise as well as a few of their men. The Imperial Guardsmen, not trusting the warband, not knowing who they were, asked them to open a data slate, which contained classified information. The warband refused. Things got physical. They eventually produced a sigil of the Inquisitor, which, after some inspection, the Imperial Guard recognized and released them. The Imperial Guard identified themselves as the Brontian Long Knives, a decorated Imperial Guard regiment who were supposed to open up the way to let the armor through in the assault of the main spine of the city, coincidentally, where Lady Brigio is located. However, with the blunder in the botched ambush, they didn't know if they would be able to do it. A Sergeant Decius pointed them towards a heretical airfield and said if they knocked out the Valkyrie there, that they would personally assist the warband in assaulting the spine. Our warband indeed assaulted the airfield, taking out several mutants very adeptly. And when I say several mutants, I mean Barbosa killed several mutants very adeptly. The last one, however, a flesh-bent servant of Nurgle, inspired fear and terror in the tech priest, who had a minor psychotic break, and where he finds everything absolutely hilarious and will shoot you on a whim. The warband, with the help of a mysterious Imperial Inquisitor, or not Inquisitor, Commissar, excuse me. No spoilers here, folks. Who heard these sounds of combat, came to assist them, and with his aid, they took down the Fleshbent. Phalos, however, still had not recovered from his psychic break, and decided that the Commissar was the best person to take a shot at. That is where we left off. So, we're out of initiative, we're out of combat. A round has just whipped past. Let me move you guys back to the battle map, just so you have reference. Let's calm that music. And I realized I just froze. I apologize, everyone. My connection's a little unstable.
You're good.
So Modius and the Commissar are down here. Barbosa, you are on the roof. And Lothos, you are back over near the command center. Phalos, you are inside of the barracks now. There is the corpse of the heretic that you blew a large cavity through, lying on the floor and beginning to smell. And this Commissar is just striding towards you. The plasma pistol that he has is venting a huge amount of steam and venting. You can almost feel the heat from where you are. It's probably over its capacity and needs to cool. But his power sword does not need to cool, and the power field is on. And he is looking at you like he is going to do things to you that you cannot even imagine.
Well, I can tell you that I find that hilarious.
Okay. So you just stand there with the hand cannon out, just see that stupid.
Fire again is what's about to happen.
Okay. Modius, what do you do?
This is a door, correct?
Yes.
Just in between. Is it something that I can shut?
Yes. There is a panel over on the side. It's just an easy button switch. There's no hand reading or anything like that.
Can I use one of my newly acquired navigator powers?
Yeah, I'm guessing foresight.
Yes. So I gotta do a perception test.
Okay.
Is this just a straight perception test?
Do you have a text block for it?
I do. I actually sent it to you in Discord. I can put it up into the...
Yeah, if you could, please.
I'll put it up here. It's kind of a lot. But at this, with a successful perception check,
Navigator
I can
draws
draw
3 secrets from the future. That's so fucking cool.
I don't see why you'd want to know what's going to happen in the immediate future. This all seems very controlled.
With the intent, basically, with my next move, I can try and get a little help.
So you can
from
get up to a
knowledge.
plus 30 on your next roll.
I don't know if I want to push it for my first try ever.
Well, no, you
Because
get 3 secrets, and it says
Mhm.
you can choose to spend the 2 secrets as well to add on plus 10 each time.
Right.
So you could have plus 10 to 3 rolls, or plus 30, plus 20, or whatever.
Right. Well, I have to do the perception test first, correct?
Yes.
You have to roll a d10 for every secret used beyond the first.
Right. So if I want to use all 3, I'd have to roll a d10 twice, and if I get a 9 or a 10, I get negative instead of positive.
Mhm.
Using this power more than once, then okay. And you're focusing on the commissar?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and talk him down.
Okay. So I'm gonna do it
That's
versus his willpower.
oh, fair enough.
So for everyone watching, Brian is playing a navigator, which isn't actually a class in Dark Heresy. It's from Rogue Trader, and it's from First Edition Rogue Trader, unfortunately. So we have tried to adopt it into Dark Heresy, so we're working on a few things. So think of it as like playtest. He has a very decent willpower test, but he also has other shit.
As long as he rolls lower than
He
84,
has a special ability called Secretive by Nature.
Eesh.
So he gets a plus 20.
Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
Okay.
Nothing.
So yeah, you'll fail.
10
Yeah, certainly
degrees
that
of
certainly wouldn't work.
success.
You try to focus the energies of the warp around this man, but you sense a sort of concrete righteousness about him. Like the warp flows around him like it would flow around like a suit of armor. Think about it like that.
Not to be trifled with, right? Well, nevertheless, even with the unsuccessful foreshadowing, I'm going to jump up in front of the door and just implore you. I implore you. My friend has just seen too much of this unnecessary action. Something got into his head. He's not like this. It's not worth it. He could be an ally, an asset. Please.
He will stop, and he's a tall man. He's probably about 6'3", 6'4". Very slender and angular, just in his face and features. He'll sort of look down at you like, "Are you interrupting the duty of an Imperial Commissar?
Just trying to add information.
Who are you?
Unknown to you.
You, get off the roof!"
Yeah, I'll basically have just been watching what was going on, like standing above, and I'll just kind of. How high up's the roof?
You could drop down.
Yeah, I have cat.
I'm not gonna subject you to
I have cat fall too, so like even if it's like 4 meters or something up, I could just like drop down, no problem.
Yeah,
So I'll
that'll
just
be
kind of
alright.
like drop and like land right in front of him, and basically pop up like, "Right, I'm Barbosa. Nice to meet you. It's a fancy gun."
He will holster the pistol and hold out a hand. "Thank you, Imperial Commissar Justinian Marax."
Right, like I said, Barbosa, no last name, but we working with the Inquisition down here, right? We got sent to take care of a little bit of VIP.
Right. Do you have proof of an inquisitorial Rosetta, Mr. Barbosa?
No Rosetta. Well, hey, where's that ring?
Give me a willpower check, Phalos.
Somebody
Oh, the crazy man's got the ring. Fucking hell.
You can see the Commissar, Barbosa, and Modius.
Wait, the door's not shut?
No.
Oh, I thought I was going to shut it. Yeah, I got too worried about trying to talk him down.
Yeah.
You just said he ran out in front of him.
Yep.
Maybe multiple targets. Is this just a straight roll?
Let me check the fear thing again.
No. Not Modius. Don't do this to him like that. He's just a child. A 3-eyed child.
Hey, I've been around a bit.
Yeah, today on this planet.
I
Consider it
acquired
sim-
the skill Hardy,
yeah.
so If it has
Since
to be
we got
anybody, it
torn
should be
apart
me.
Not too long ago.
My quick ref is being a bitch right now, so let's just do it at a plus 20
Okay, well,
because the
burn a fate
mutant is
point.
dead. So get a plus 10.
Yeah, so let's make
Okay.
that plus 30. So 59.
Fate point.
Yeah. Whew, I'd have done
Good.
that with no bonuses.
Okay.
That's shocking.
So as the situation's kind of calm down and the commissar is not approaching you, and you see like everyone sort of grouping up and it's quiet for a second, you take a breath and sort of like will your heartbeat to stop, and slowly it calms down. And this kind of overbearing like awareness of what happened hits you. You fucking killed a guy.
This is not the greatest moment for Phylos. I'm just gonna slowly put my gun back in its holster and then just don't move much. Because this guy still isn't my friend yet.
Right, the ring. Give me the ring. Right, before he shoots the rest of us with a fancy gun.
Phalos, are you with us?
I am, yes. I have ring.
Not maniacally laughing, I see.
The commissary he'll deactivate the power field but not sheath the sword. Will just stride up his jackboots, sort of just clipping on the hard metal floors, and just hold out a hand. Tech Priest, I assume that the previous issue will not arise again.
No. I on this I will, it will not. Here is ring.
He will pluck it. The Emperor is more strength while our enemies pound and howl. Remember that. Oh.
Nod.
Take it out, inspect it, pull out a tiny little cogitator, link it up, look, nod. Very well. It seems I am at your service, Commissars.
Right, so it's a bit of a story.
Or Inquisitors. Sorry, the words are very similar.
Right, so a bit of a story. Basically, over there in that big tall building, the spire, there's a person we gotta get out of here, out of the city, right? That's the whole goal. That's why we're here. What do you think you could do to help us with that?
That depends. Who is this person?
Gonna kind of look over at Lothos. Well, I'm assuming Lothos has joined the party at this point.
Yes, I'm looking at the data slate name. Lady,
Fancy lady, I don't know.
Janetta.
Janita.
Janita.
She got one of them high boy names, you see.
Bridgia, there it is. Okay.
There we go, Brigio. Yup.
He'll pull out a data slate from the folds of his trench coat, flip through it real quick. Ah! Excellent. Tertiary orders are to extract all HVT targets from the city. I can help you.
If I
Finally,
may,
some good news.
we are at airfield to disable Valkyrie, yes?
You got more than fancy guns.
He'll just pull out his pistol and flip off a shot towards the Valkyrie. The plasma will scatter across the wing back, sort of. He'll hit it about right here, and it will instantly just turn to slag and melt. It's completely fucked. He'll just let the plasma pistol vent and then holster it again.
Barbosa is just transfixed on this gun. He's never seen anything so beautiful in all of his life. Like, he's from a frontier world where there's like shotguns and maybe a las gun, sometimes. But this thing here, like, Roy, I need that.
Plasma pistols are rare. They're rarer than bolt pistols or anything like that.
Cool, Roy, I need one.
Well, you can't have this one.
You know I can find one. And who I gotta kill to get one of them?
Well, this one came from a traitor marine that I slew on Beta 7, but there's no more of them left.
Oh, I was about to say, we going to Beta 7 after this, boys.
Well, you've already been there. Well, not you, your organization.
Right.
Well, setting aside desire for plasma gun, if we have disabled Valkyrie, we can let Imperial forces know and be headed to Spire, yes?
Oh, you know where some of the guardsmen are. I can't find a single living person in this whole city.
We ran into two. They odd folks, them guardsmen.
The long
Albeit
knives.
them the other ones, the big tall boys. With
Uh,
painted the tech priest. He wasn't green before.
What?
Run into.
The Brontians, I understand. I thought they'd been wiped out. They'd been cut off from our armor support in the city. It seems that the stories about them are true. Where are they?
They were taking care of or finishing up an ambush when we came up across them, or at least dealing with one. And then they sent us to deal with the Valkyrie here, and then afterwards we would meet back up with them, and they would assist us heading to the Spire, finding our targets.
Well, it sounds like they are in need of an Imperial Commissar. Are any of you wounded?
Well,
Looks at Modeus, who is like still bleeding out.
Yeah, literally half dead.
Ah! You! Why have you allowed yourself to be wounded?
I just happened to be in front when these things popped out. Poor placement, I suppose.
Are any of you a surgeon?
They do have skills with at least stitching someone up.
Well, hop to it, Medicaid. We're on a schedule here.
Okay then, Modeus. Here we go.
Yes, please.
critical fail, he dies.
Don't you
jinx me
dare.
like that.
Don't you dare.
He's literally 1 point away from fucking death.
I've got 5.
Okay, well, fuck.
I
I guess
You're 1 point away.
Oh, now I've got...
it's a 60. I'm gonna use a fate point to re-roll that.
Yeah, I would.
I
Bad.
would as well. That's bad.
Called it.
You jinxed it. Oh, if I'm right, plus that, I should have just barely made it. If I'm right.
Be right.
I have
Quick
faith in
reference.
you.
Where's quick reference?
That's why you gotta be hard. I got hardy. Like I was reading up the damage thing. Like if you get heavily wounded, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like, but I always count as lightly wounded, so I'm basically Wolverine. Blow my arm off, I'm gonna be fit as a fiddle tomorrow morning. Like,
Currently,
just
I've got
looking up
5
the,
left of 13.
Okay. I'm
With
just
says,
looking up. The
basically,
Medicaid.
as long as I take
Suture-
a day to heal, I'm good.
With the field suture, which I didn't add on to the original one, and plus the other bonus, it should have made it, but I have only 1 degree of success. So I believe that just stops the bleeding.
I don't know why you're so into your hardy skill. Like recovering from critical wounds is a big deal. I got a skill that I know a little bit about everything.
Okay.
That's gonna come in.
So it's a +0 modifier. Doing first aid. It's -10. Or wait, no, it's not. Never mind.
That's just
Okay.
because I want
If you succeed, you remove an amount of damage from your patient equal to his intelligence bonus. Oh no, to your
It
intelligence
is? I was like,
bonus.
why
To
not
your
mine?
intelligence. It's worded weird. Thanks, Fantasy Flight.
That's pretty good.
To your intelligence bonus, plus 1 additional point of damage per degree of success.
So that would include 4 points of healing.
Alright.
Because that's
So
yeah.
this is going to take a little bit longer than the clean wounds left by the Brontians on Barbosa. This is some very ragged. You can't stitch this up. The needle-like teeth have essentially just minced the meat here, and it's bleeding profusely. Doing an initial inspection, it doesn't seem that the teeth pierce deep enough to damage any of the vital organs, but you do basically all you can do right now. You apply some salve essentially to sort of force the bleeding to stop and do pressure bandages. It's gonna help, but you should probably see a Medicaid.
The best I can tell you at this point is you won't bleed out unless you know something would
Else.
open all the wounds up. I would suggest getting to a doctor as soon as possible.
Not standing in front of open doorways with. Understood.
Yeah. Just don't. Don't.
Well, thank you. Both those. I do appreciate that.
No worries. Just don't die. It'd be a pain in the ass to lose more people.
Got too much to do to die today.
All right.
Would have been really nice to have that man with a robot dog, though. Damn shame.
Shame. The commissar this time, he'll be leaned up against one of the buildings, sort of just casually smoking on a low stick and just like watching the buildings and windows and horizon and everything like that. Sort of just giving you your time, but he looks like he's beginning to get a little impatient.
I'd probably be leaned up against the wall next to him, smoking a low stick too.
I'm gonna be a respectful distance away, making no move anywhere near my weapon.
He's gonna be keeping an eye on you.
Man, only if we had a
Rightfully
med
so.
kit as well.
I'll be like,
Oh, don't worry about that tech priest, Roy. He just ain't used to this kind of shit, you know. I think it's the first fella he ever popped here. Think about that. He's what, 30 years old? First time he ever killed someone.
I don't trust the tech priests, Barbosa. A small mind has no room for heresy. A large one has ample room for it to seed.
Right. Well, I'm quite good what you mean there. But he makes everything.
He'll just shrug. Like, yeah. He's used to talking to guardsmen and shit like that too, so he's probably used to that kind of response.
Well, he makes it. Well, you know what? The car don't like him. I noticed it. The car don't like him much.
A car?
The car,
car?
yeah. They dropped us off in a car.
Where is it? That would be immensely helpful in our traversing of the city.
No, he's green now.
What do you mean it's green?
Not the blokes with the knives. The other one. They hide. All right. So we got into the city, right? Like we landed and we killed some blokes, and we got in the city, and then there was a big pile of bodies, and a bunch of these big blokes came up. They had red bandanas on. Came up out of the bodies, and there's an ambush. See, and so they was the ones who they painted the car. They was really playing it pretty good. It was a good prank on the tech priest, I'm gonna say. Tech priest got a little mouthy, and then they put the little, explosions, but paint instead of killing him. It was funny, huh? I wouldn't have thought of it.
They desecrated holy relic with impossible to remove paint, targeting it as military strike. It's not funny prank.
It's a pretty good prank.
Never underestimate Imperial Guardsmen, Tech Priest. They are crafty in more ways than one. Especially the older ones.
Mistake I will not be making again.
You're lucky you have the chance to make it. Are you done? Is he going to die?
He should be fine unless he gets hit again.
I'm as good as I'll be for the day. I suppose we should get back to the Long Knives and carry on with our mission.
Though
Right.
I should note, if you do start bleeding again, let me know immediately.
Of course. Thank you again.
Oh, you'll be fine. I always heal something like that in a day or two.
Well, next time you stand in front.
I was on the roof like a smart bloke.
I was on the roof like a smart bloke.
What was that, Phalos?
I was just asking quietly how often he gets bit by monsters. He said he heals like this all the time. Doesn't have to be answered, just me.
You should probably get used to that in your line of work. I hear it's a viable possibility.
Well, any injury is opportunity to replace weakness of flesh. You should be celebrating nowadays. Let us be heading back to Frontiers with this direction, yes?
Not really a good place to replace parts, though. You kind
No,
of got
live till we get back to ship. That is
Right
true.
here. I've learned many lessons today. Probably not my last either. Shall we?
Very well. Lead the way.
We just went over this. I don't take the lead.
Right, well, I'm Batman.
You can't. The commissar will look at you like, what?
Are you a mutant?
Shake his head. You can't Batman here. The buildings are too high.
Okay, so I'll be like, right, well,
You're in the thick of the city. The buildings are like the smallest ones are like over 15 stories high.
okay, well, no Batman then. I'll be like, right, I'll take the front then. You stand in the middle. That way you don't get bit by no more nasties.
Not to be dampening enthusiasm, but perhaps someone who can see in dark should lead.
Oh, all right, man, you get to the front then. But no, that's gonna be too slow with your gimpy leg.
Well, we will go that
He is
speed
glowing.
regardless of if I am front. That is true.
How
Yes,
y'all be seeing
Tech
in the
Priest.
dark anyways?
Tech Priest, why are you green?
I was close to car when the
I
paint
told you
exploded.
it was the paint. It's a right good joke.
It is unfortunate.
I'll just, for a second, just... Right. One of you lead the way. I will lead the way, and he will lead the way.
I was about to, but he can do it.
How all y'all be seeing in the dark? I don't want to see in the dark.
He can't see in the dark. He has a flashlight.
Right, where you get one of them?
He's a commissar.
It's common item. You can requisition next time we leave ship.
I don't know. All
He's
we
a
got from the
fucking
requisition-
commissar in the middle of a battlefield.
They have
Maybe ask
nothing
for
to that.
useful items and not grappling hook.
Right.
Perhaps there's one at the hangar.
What you talking about? This grabbing the hood's bloody pretty.
It is useful for grappling. Was not necessary. I should point out that I'm walking just in case anyone's not assuming they were standing still.
Oh yeah, I don't know
Moving.
how far out were we? It didn't take us too long to get to the
No,
airfield.
you guys didn't have to travel outside of the square.
Okay.
You only traveled, I think, about 500 meters. So technically, you would have traversed into another square, but
Sure.
Next time the beasties is chewing on you and I'm on the roof, don't tell me it ain't necessary.
Was low roof.
What do you mean next time?
Oh,
a commissar
that'll be
from the
next
front will just go, "What in the name of the holy throne of Terra are you talking about? What? Why? Who are you people?"
Right, on Barbosa, and that's Tech Priesty, and then the other man's Killy, bro. And
We
then
are
his
having
3 eyes.
names.
We've been through. I don't think that's what he meant, Barbosa.
We are inquisitorial acolytes. I am Phalos. This is Lothos and Moldaeus, and as he has introduced himself and no one else several times, Barbosa.
He'll just turn around and keep going.
Fair enough.
You got about. You're moving at a good pace, but it is at a combat pace, so you're not like just casually walking down the street. You're moving to cover and stuff like that. Keeping low. It's gonna take you about 10 minutes. Do you guys want to do anything in that 10 minutes?
I just got a question for Justinian, the commissar.
Mhm.
You said the extraction that was it a tertiary objective of yours?
Yes.
Is there anything else that you have plans with while you're down here? Personal or non? Something we might be able to help with, even. We may look like a ratty scrat folk, but some of these guys are quite capable.
Give me a charm test.
Oh god,
Did
you don't
kill
want that.
Witch.
Minus 10.
Give me something you're not good at, and then make
Right.
it worse.
Hey man, I've been rolling willpowers the entire time. I'm so bad at it. It's someone else's turn.
Oh,
I rolled a 4, but I didn't. And that still wasn't enough.
but yet so far.
Wait, add a fate. Oh, even if you add a fate point to add 10, still fucking one off.
Okay.
So close.
Wait, yeah,
So-
fate point would make that a pass, right? Or is that possible
So-
to go below 0?
Technically, you have to declare you're going to add the plus 10
Oh,
before
beforehand.
you roll.
Fair enough.
You can re-roll with a fate point after the roll.
I'm not
but,
re-rolling on a negative 3.
he's not going to take offense to it. He's just going to... You'll see his demeanor change, though. Like, he'll get a little more reserved and guarded. Be like, "Are you asking me as an inquisitorial acolyte or as someone sharing a battlefield?"
Someone with recently bandaged and far too long to travel anymore. Perhaps it's both, even.
I found myself distanced from my platoon I was leading. Valkyrie was shot down, I was flung from the ship, and when I awoke, I was in the rubble. So, I've been making my way towards the sounds of gunfire. Usually, I arrive too late. I kill everyone around and move on to the next one.
And you've no contact with your squad.
My Voxcaster shattered against a building. Last I saw him, he was stuck to it.
I am having Voxcaster.
Oh, brilliant! Is it operational?
I forget how long it has been since it became unoperational for once.
It's probably been an hour.
Then yes.
Also, Modes, if you're not going to use the scanner thing, can you pass it over here?
The Auspex?
Yes.
Sure, if you'd like.
Mm-hmm. Unless you rather carry it at the moment. It looks quite big.
It's big. You're welcome to use it. Have you used one before?
No.
Perhaps I should carry it then.
What are you guys talking about?
The Auspex scanner? I don't know. Are you scanning for more
I'm just considering
more
that
baddies?
there was what we assumed to be landmines on our way back there. It's probably safe to, have it scanning for things. Rather not blow up.
It'll slow you guys down.
You're a bloody assassin. The only thing that should be in your hands is a gun.
If you're gonna be like minesweeping, that's gonna slow you down significantly.
You know what else would slow us down? Getting blown up.
Are you wishing me to use Voxcaster to make contact with squad?
Yes. Hand it over.
Yes.
Start tuning in. Tuning to a frequency, which has a large amount of chatter going over it. It's chaotic. There's screaming and reports of being overrun and, directional callouts and shit like that. And he'll just go, break. This is Commissar Justinius Marax. All units, break. Code Eagle. Fall back to designated position. Await Commissar arrival. And he'll slam it down like, we need to move.
Right.
Back up and get ready to double time. He says he wants to move.
That sounds like a change of plans. Where are we going exactly?
We are headed towards the Brontians that you left, and we are going to assist them. Or rather, I am. I don't really get to tell you all what to do.
I don't think there's much need. That was our path as well.
Excellent. For the Emperor, then. And he'll pull out his sword and plasma pistol and begin running down the street.
Oh, shit. I don't want to run right now.
Well, I'm gonna pull my gun to my hand and I guess also try and keep. I'm not able to, but try and keep pace.
What's his agility bonus? Just so I can get a gauge of his speed. So my agility bonus is 4, so
You're
probably the same
probably
speed.
fast. You're probably about as fast as him. Let me check. You're about as fast as him.
Okay, so I just kind of be keeping pace, be like,
Right, so then after we save these blokes, then we all go up to the spy all fast like and get the lady out of here, right?
Well, Barbosa, here's my plan. We assist the Brontians, rally the troops, the armor punches through, and we all assault the spine.
Assault
Right now.
tends to get bystanders killed, right? So I was thinking go stealthy like. That's gonna get in, get out before anyone knows we're there. I don't got a problem with you going to, but I don't also want to get it's my first day on the job.
Tactically, your idea is sound. However, the main assault of the spine is ongoing right now. Getting in stealthily is not really an option. All
Right.
Imperial forces are making their way towards the spine. This is our final push.
What are the chances of a rescue then, if any?
Depends who's left alive in the spine.
I'm
The
gonna
heretics
grapple
seem
up
to have amassed there, so doubtful.
it.
But the Emperor protects.
Well, we are after one specific person. The rest is not really important.
If Lady Brigitte is a loyal servant of the Emperor, then I'm sure that he has protected her in his light. Now, onward.
Oh,
All right. I'll be holding up the back with Phalos there.
One of you just bleeding all over the place, the other one just gimping
I'm
along.
not bleeding anymore. Actually, by the end, I might walk over to Lothos and there's a couple spots that popped open. Too much running. Lesson learned.
Your stitches are tearing a little bit. Ugh.
No, down here.
Like medical care in the 41st universe is probably they probably just cauterize that shit. Probably just like some terrible fucking hot iron like thing. Probably just people screaming. Ah!
Bite
I'm gonna
down
need some
on
drugs
this.
soon.
Here,
maybe they have
here,
super
just
glue.
have all the morphine. Have all of it.
They have stuff. You don't. But it exists.
It's for the rich people.
We couldn't get our hands on the med
It's for
kit.
you guys. Yeah, if you didn't, just have a ship's quartermaster to choose from.
Right.
Hey man, we got a
Um,
length of chain, and that's gonna.
You
be
did get a
clutch.
length of
We
chain.
got it.
That's gonna save your guys' ass like 30 sessions down the road. You're
Right.
fighting a goddamn like Primarch or some shit.
We're gonna forget
got
about
plans.
us having it, and they're gonna forget about us having it, and then it's just gonna come in use somehow.
And like fling someone's neck, and it's gonna be just enough to like cause them to topple and fall into the water and drown. It's like so I'm gonna fuck it.
All right. As you all approach, the sounds of fighting grow more intense as you guys begin approaching. And as you reach the point where Sergeant Decius roughed you guys up, you see that the Imperial Guard have had to fall back to this point. Many of them are wounded. A lot of them are dead from the looks of it. They're down to about half strength. Sergeant Decius is still alive. He is bleeding profusely from what looks to be a gunshot wound to one of his arms. And the captain or lieutenant, you're not sure, the lady who was in charge is also alive. Her sword is coated in blood and gore, and she's firing a auto pistol over the brim of this sort of, not the brim, the hood of this auto carriage that has been burned out. As the commissar charges around the corner, he is going to just let out a ferocious sounding rallying cry that you wouldn't expect someone of his sort of demeanor and tone to have. And he is going to attempt to inspire them. So, and then that. Okay. So, as the rallying cry goes out, do you guys want to assist in this rallying cry?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys do?
I would say charge around the corner, but I don't. I guess that's the best thing doing that.
That's the plan. Is a
Yep.
charge.
Yep.
Can I give Barbosa my megaphone?
We
you
do
wanna
have a megaphone.
You could give the commissar your megaphone.
There you go. Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh yeah. So now the commissar just comes running around the corner. He's ditched. He's holstered the plasma pistol. Just has this megaphone and is just screaming, "Children of Bront, forward for the Emperor!" They just sort of look around and then they just cheer. A lot of them just throw down their las guns and just draw their knives or swords or whatever sort of blades they have, and they all just push forward. You'll see a few heretical forces, a few of them even PDF rebels that have essentially defected over to heresy. They'll just charge forward. A few of the Brontians are gunned down in the sway, but the push forward is enough to sort of break through, and there is just a slaughter happening in this square where they had originally amassed. Would you guys like to assist them in killing heretics?
Yes.
Very
Okay.
much so.
Is there anywhere I can grapple to?
No, there's nowhere you can grapple
I
to.
don't want to be that man. The one
That
thing
could-
that
He
you can
can't
get.
see. Let him fire his grappling
You could
hook.
try and like Rainbow Six Siege through a window into a building if you want to.
That sounds. Are there heretics to kill in the building, or will I be able to shoot out from the building
No.
at the heretics?
Sure.
Sure.
I just want a vantage point.
Yeah, you can get a vantage point. So
Okay.
you go ahead. Is there a test to use the grappling hook?
It does not say that there is one required.
So you, as the war cry goes forth, you just sort of twist and angle up at one of the buildings around you. There are tall buildings. Some of them are stores. Some of them are hab units. You just pick one that you think has the best vantage point, and the piercing sort of harpoon of the grappling hook will shatter the glass, latch onto something inside, and you'll begin to feel yourself getting reeled into this building, just flipping up through the air. While that's happening, Spaz, what are you doing?
I guess he's gonna be coming around the corner and more just doing what he does best as a marksman, just start doming people.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a shot.
Okay, then
I'll give you a plus 20.
here's hoping. Some standard range.
Okay.
60. So yeah.
Go ahead and
that's
roll
not-
wounds. You don't have to roll hit location, just roll wounds. Okay. Bayless,
that's
what are you
actually-
doing? Go ahead, Spaz.
Yeah, that would be if I'm correct. Mm-mm. 2 more d10s with that. Okay then.
Did you just do 21 wounds?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
10-3.
Okay. Phalos, what are you doing?
Well, I have to get into pistol range.
Don't worry about being like on a map. This is
Gotcha.
like,
One point is I just have to run forward.
yeah, you can charge
Yeah.
forward into the fray, or a little ways off from the fray.
I
Yeah.
will try and keep myself as minimally exposed to bullets, and then depending on in that hot second of decision making, if there's some way I can essentially
You can start
assist-
shooting.
Well, that's my
Please.
plan. Is just
So I
to
just
start
started
shooting.
blasting.
Yeah.
So then
I
I
started
start
blasting.
Just do that.
Just make your
Okay.
like little arm just start shooting lights out and blinding people.
And I guess I could just laser pointer some people right in the eyes.
All right, so you take a few pot shots out. Modius, what are you up to?
Is looking around at whatever is being they're fighting. Is there any significance in rank of what they're fighting?
Yeah. So there's the usual heretics like rabble, which are these guys that you've seen, kind of like the guys dressed like they were in the airfield in the sort of shoddy, like dark green, moldy, dirty rags that look just sick in some various way. A lot of them have like sunken cheeks and pot bellies, and just they don't look right. Then there are the heretical PDF forces, which are armed and armored. Like they'll have las guns and actual armor and stuff like that. They look like they're sort of in charge of the heretics. And give me a perception check. -10.
Barely.
You can reroll if you want.
Yeah. Fate point.
Sure. Up to you.
Seems like it might be worth it. And I've not used that before.
Cool.
There we go. That's
All
better.
right. So yeah, as you're sort of scanning through this melee, and it is a melee at this point. There's close quarters gunfire. There's hand-to-hand combat. Like it's gnarly, and the sounds coming from it are just ghastly. But you sort of start scanning through. You see the heretics and the PDF, and you're looking. You're like, there has to be like a route. And you do see one. He's a PDF force, but his armor is a little more regaled. He has a few medals pinned to his chest, and they're sort of tarnished now and twisted. His armor is pocketed, almost as though there's been like acid splashed across on it, and the tethering is molded. His helmet looks tarnished, and his face is just... It looks almost like a skeleton looking back at you. But you do see he is fighting intensely. but he does seem to be calling the shots.
Are we an hour out from our last encounter at the hangar?
No, it's
All
been like 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, because we hustled up pretty good, didn't we? Okay. Well, if I can, I'll just take a shot with my pistol at him.
Sure.
Because what the hell not?
Oh no,
I'll
Michael
give
Bay
you,
pistol in a
I'll
crowd.
give you a plus 10. Because you managed to spot him out.
That's half aim. Standard range. All right.
Okay. Go ahead and roll wounds.
Excuse me.
Okay. And then we'll jump over to Barbosa. So you zipline into the building. You are up. You sort of tuck and roll, look around. It seems to be some sort of office area. There's desks and it would look to be some sort of typewriter, cogitator blend. It's ramshackle and empty, but it doesn't look like anyone's up here. You quickly get up out of your roll, go to one of the windows overlooking the battlefield, and what would you like to do?
Start taking pot shots.
Oh, shots. Okay,
Down
go
below.
ahead and do the ballistics check. All the bonuses that you get for your elevation and you'd be standard range. We did clarify either standard or short range, depending.
For the sniper rifle, it'll probably be short range because it's going to probably be less than half its max range.
Okay, so short range, and then your elevation and all your sniper bullshit that Spaz has.
Okay, I'm not going to say that I rolled or that I aimed because I didn't get a chance to aim. Because I just like I'm doing this as part of, or well, is this part of my original move action, or would this be like a separate thing?
We're doing this in a theatrical sense.
So I guess I would get okay. So I'll say I get up there, pot it down.
For the record, that target of 37 can't be right on my roll.
It's so did you add it inside the modifier box
I
right
did.
at the end?
But
for
I also
some
had a half
reason-
aim and I had
For some reason, I've noticed this, the modifier box minus it from the total score that you're trying to reach for some reason.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
I might
why
just-
I
I'm
usually
gonna
just
manual
use it as
that.
a reference one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you hit 17.
So
Okay.
I also do 21 damage because
21
also
damage.
it's +4.
Okay.
So and
So,
then, yeah.
and I'll just do the commissar for shits and gigs.
300
He
damage
does
with the
well.
sword.
He does very well. I have that actually.
These sniper rifles are ridiculous.
They are. You get the plus 10 for just being a sniper rifle. You get the extra 2 or extra 2d10s if you're over 40 or 4 degrees of success.
Mhm.
It's outrageous.
His sword is not updated. But I'll just
And
do
it's
it.
reliable, so it only jams on 100.
Yeah.
I mean, you rolled your fair share of those.
So,
Plus it's mag size.
as you all rally with the commissar, and he charges horse, belting out litanies to the emperor and a rallying war cry to the Brontians as they surge forward. He makes his way to the front of the charge and is the first one in sort of just jumping and leaping over a sandbag barricade and just hewing into one of these heretics. The blade goes straight through as though there was no resistance. The heretic falls into pieces and he just begins slaughtering. Lothos, from your viewpoint, you see him make 13 kills himself.
Damn.
Lothos, you round the corner of the building that you were originally sort of discovered behind, and seeing the melee erupt, you stop, brace your weapon against the side of the building, and begin taking shots. And you don't have to move there for the entire conflict. Barbosa, you see almost as much as you do, one for one, both of you just heads exploding right before they're about to make the killing blow, as they're glorying over a kill they just made. Just pop, 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 pop. It's almost incessant, but between the two of you, the two of you get 42 kills together. This is effectively what allowed the Brontians to surge forward. The officer, now a little more exposed, that his rabble have been essentially decimated by your snipers and the Imperial Guardsmen, comes into view. Modius bleeding, sort of hugging into these wounds, even though Lothos did his best job to patch the wounds. A bit of blood begins to stain your robes as you pull out the las pistol, breathe, take aim, and a single just stream of las fire rips through the battlefield, and you see it just appears a small black circle on the captain's head as he just dumps onto the ground. The troops and the commissar will all cheer. Thalos, you do your very best. You run up, you have your hand cannon ready, you're like, it's okay, and then you just remember the mutant from the airfield and its horridity, and you see the sort of beginnings of mutation on these guys, and it just sort of, for a moment, snaps you back into that unbridled terror, and you are helping. You're hiding behind a bunch of rubble, sort of just blind firing over the building. You cause a few heads to duck. But surprisingly quickly, I'd say there's probably about 10 minutes of just pitched combat. There's the sudden silence after a firefight. And the commissar stays dripping in sweat, covered in gore, just breathing heavily. He's lost the megaphone somewhere. He's got his plasma pistol out. The Brontians lost probably another 5 in their charge, so they're down to about squad strength now. But Sergeant Decius has survived. The woman whose name you do not know has a serious looking wound to her upper torso, and it looks like a Medicae is tending to her. It does not look good. And Lothos and Barbosa, you guys are sort of just letting the now cooling in the darkness air of the night just sort of cool down the barrels and chambers of your rifles, just looking down at the numerous spent shell casings littering either the street or the office building around you. Like, that is fucking intense.
I light a low stick off the barrel of my gun.
Oh yeah, it's hot enough. Especially on at the compressor at the end, you just touch a match to his.
I just like kind of start smoking and be like,
That was a right good fight. I like this grappling shit.
Right.
I'm gonna try and make my way over to one of the Medicae and just kind of anybody, because I'm
Staying
still
up
bleeding
where
a
I'm
lot.
There's one Medicae, and they are completely focused on this captain.
That's fair.
It looks like she took some auto gunfire directly to the chest. She's basically getting shot with an M16. There's a lot of blood. It's very bright. As you're approaching, actually, and sort of calling out for a Medicae, you'll see her start to seize and sort of shake, and there's like bloody froth coming out of her mouth, and the Medicae will call out for some assistance. The commissar will run over and hold down the arms, and Sergeant Decius will come over and hold down the legs as best he can in his wounded state. There's a few moments in the Medicae's working just fervently. And then the commissar sort of stands up, pulls a small stub pistol out of his back, and shoots the captain in the head. The Medicae is just aghast, like splattered in gore too. It's not like the head explodes, but sort of just look up at the commissar, and he'll actually kneel down and put both his hands on their shoulders. It's her time to walk with the Emperor. We should not deny her that. And sort of pat her on the shoulder, stand up. Sergeant Decius, congratulations, field promotion. You're now Lieutenant Decius. Gather your remaining troops. Wait for the armor. How many people just with the megaphone, just beating the fuck out of them?
It was short-lived,
Heresy!
but well worth it.
Yes.
Modius is just gonna probably be like close to that action, but not quite right up on there. Like take a knee right in the middle of a literal battlefield. That's not my scene. So I'm gonna be taking as long as I can to just breathe, taking what just happened.
The
And not
guardsmen will be doing multiple things. They will be collecting ammo from their fallen companions, and any equipment that they might need, grenades, demo charges, anything like that. They will not touch the knives. And then they will be also searching the heretical forces for trophies.
When I see them hopping around, or one rather going through the bodies of the dead things, is going to give Barbosa an idea. He's going to hop down. He's going to root around for guns because his auto gun blew up. So he needs, or
Yeah.
his pistol
Your
rather.
auto pistol.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find like one or two working, like the best.
Yeah.
Like, the best ones that I can find, basically.
Yeah.
Ideally, auto pistols or revolvers or whatever.
I'll say if you want to try and take from the guardsmen, you'd be able to get las rifles, but you're not sure how the Bronzians would feel about you stealing from their dead companions.
Yeah, no, I'm more wanting to just get it off the
heretics.
Yeah,
okay.
off the heretics. Yeah.
Give me a test of some sort. You know what? They're fucking out and about. Yeah, you can look around. I'm not gonna make you. Just fuck you. Yeah, you can find an array. It's mostly auto guns.
Which is like a rifle.
An auto gun is basically an M16.
What do I find in the way of pistols?
Pistols. You could find a stub pistol, which is basically just like a 9mm. It's not automatic.
Then I'll take that as my like holdout kind of like gun to kind of go back in the back to replace the auto gun, and then I'll kind of pick up a auto gun and I'll kind of start look at that, and like I have to figure. I can I don't know. I got a sniper rifle. How many guns can I carry?
I'd say yeah. You have the hand cannon. You have the hand cannon still.
Cannon. Yeah, I got a hand cannon. That's all
I'd say you could either take the pistol or the auto gun.
Well, for me the pistol's like a boot gun, basically, is what I'm thinking. It's like my backup. So it's like I have the hand cannon on my hip, and then I've got like a boot gun, and then I have my sniper rifle. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just saying feasibly, like carrying two long guns.
Yeah, I know
it's gonna make you bulky. You could have someone else carry it.
That's an idea. Okay, so I'll take the pistol and kind of slip it in the back of my like belt, basically like my holdout spot, and then I'll grab like an auto gun. If I find two, then I'll grab one of each. If I find one, I can find two.
Yeah, why not?
I'm gonna walk over to Phalos and Asmodeus and be and like kind of toss them both an auto gun and be like, right, y'all need to strap up. It's getting real.
It do be getting real.
Do be. Speaking
they
of,
think it don't.
Nathan.
I wanted to go confront like the most horrifying part of the heretic slaughter, because I have been brain rattled by all of this repeatedly. So just as a permanent try and get over it, I'm gonna try and find someone who died horrifyingly and take, I don't know, something I'll use, their watch, something I'll be forced to look at, a chrono, I guess I should say, something I'll be forced to look at and remember to just try and get my brain used to this.
Okay.
It's not right now.
Okay, so the one who died the worst fucking death is going to be one of the guardsmen. So do you want to try and take? Okay.
Worst.
You want to find the second most, Okay, yeah. So you begin scouring the battlefield, sort of just going from corpse to corpse. There's a lot of them.
The experience in
The
itself will be
the heretical
something.
forces are probably more than twice of the Imperial Guardsmen. So there's a lot to sift through. And yeah, a lot of them have knife wounds and stuff like that. Some of them do have the lasgun fire, and just, not everyone threw down their gun. They honestly should have been shot for throwing down their guns, but you find one heretic sort of almost sitting into the rubble, almost in the fetal position, and it looks like probably a teenage boy. He's got sort of shaggy blonde hair. He looks almost normal. He was probably just initiated into the PDF when things went to shit. And he has been eviscerated by someone. Probably the guy with the orc sword. Just from the raggedness of the wounds, it was almost as though force ripped through instead of cut through. And there's just a spooling of his entrails out. And you see that he's actually seems to have been trying to spool them back into himself, and there's drying tears running down his face like that. The eyes are just blank, sort of staring down at this. Probably not the best way to go. You just
You're
want to.
saying I did it. I found a horrifying death.
You did find something horrifying, yeah. Did you
Thanks
just
for
want
that.
to stare at that?
I do, but I also want to
Okay.
take something that I will be forced to remember this for.
Okay. Yeah, you check. You check the body, and rifling through the pockets, it doesn't have much. It's got like some glow sticks, some like dried foods, dumb shit like that. You find a small little journal, and it's tied up. It looks like it's got a pen stuck into it. As you open it up and flip through, there's delicate looking handwriting. It's almost like a cursive. It is surprisingly in High Gothic. And you do know that this planet does have its own evolved dialect, so that's a little odd.
Well, for now, I will just take that. Just flipping through it, how much of this is filled out?
Most of it. Like, there's a few pages in the back.
Well, that I will take.
Okay.
As just a reminder of this.
Yeah.
Just to kind of reinforce what this is all about and the fact that it's shit's real now.
Yeah. Lothos, what are you doing?
While pretty much everybody else is going around, Lothos is going to go to pretty much each one of the fallen and Imperial Guards and pretty much being praying over them. I wouldn't say giving them their final rites or such, but pretty much acknowledging their sacrifice.
Yeah. You can go to each corpse and sort of try to make them a little presentable, like straighten them out, like fold their arms, make the sign of the Aquila with their fingers, stuff like that. Whatever native practices your own shrine world may have had as well. Shrine worlds are usually dedicated to a specific saint as well, so that could have its own practices, like Saint Sabbath of the whole Sabbath worlds, stuff like that. But you're doing that, all right. So after a brief respite, the commissar will sort of dust off his jacket, straighten himself up, sort of roll his shoulders, and approach you guys. And we're gonna go on a break. So, I hope you guys are watching. If you are watching, thanks. Again, this is Total Tabletop Production. We're usually going to be streaming over there. Please check them out on Twitch, Discord, all of that good stuff. We're going to be back in just a few minutes. Please stick around. I don't have anything prepared for you guys in the meantime, so you guys take a break too.
All right.
Well,
Odds.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed your break. We are coming back to our warband as they have just finished aiding a motor carriage drive down the street, apparently. Hold on. There we go. Aided the Brontian Long Knives in a counter attack for their failed ambush with the aid of Commissar Justinian Marax. They have taken a little bit of time to sort of rest and recuperate and wait for the armor to push in. And armor does indeed come after about 10 minutes. You guys do hear and begin to feel the sort of low rumble of heavy engines and ceramite plating as these Lehman Russ battle tanks, flanked by salamanders, begin rolling in to the village. Phalos, you would know that the Lehman Russes are kind of like your standard battle tank, only way more big and cool. They fire a massive shell and have twin-linked heavy bolters on the front and sponson guns. And you know that these salamanders are basically the same thing, only their main gun has been replaced with a flamethrower. So these heavy armored columns, and they're painted in this sort of garish black and bright orange tiger stripe camo. You'll see at the lead, sort of turned out in his pristine Imperial Guard uniform, is a mustachioed man with a sort of commander's cap with the skull and Aquila on. He has a myriad of medals and sort of kill tallies pinned onto his chest, and he will sort of push through with this heavy dozer blade attached to the front of his tank, and as he passes, he will snap you guys a quick salute to the commissar and the now Lieutenant Decius, and just plow through this berm. There's a huge rattle of shifting rubble and screeching metal as everything is just forced through by this Lehman Russ battle tank, and the way is clear. Almost instantly, machine gun and heavy bolter fire comes rocketing down this alleyway. You guys scatter for cover. The tanks do not seem to give a shit. You'll see them casually still rolling forward. One of the salamanders in the queue will come up to play and just quench an entire apartment building in red hot, just napalm. You'll see, even from this distance, though minuscule figures jumping out of the shattering glass and splatting into the street or flailing around coming out of the story building. The tanks will begin opening up with their main guns, just blowing out entire sides of these buildings. One actually, after a moment, the Lehman Russ must have hit a structural support. It comes crashing down, and this head tank you'll see it stop for a second. You'll hear the massive engine just revving this huge plume of black smoke issue force as it just plows straight through this toppled skyscraper. The commissar will light a low stick. Well, they seem to be showing off today. Guardsmen, are we ready to assault the spine? We've wasted enough of the Emperor's time today. The guardsmen will all sort of rally up, group up, and begin falling in behind the tanks, using them as cover. Some of them will jump up on sponson guns or turreted guns, usually heavy stubbers, basically a 50 cal attached to a few of these Lehman Russ battle tanks. Not all of them have this pattern, and they will begin the push forward into the city. I am getting really tired of this music. Holy shit.
So can we see the spine from here? Now that they're dropping buildings all around us?
You guys would have been able to see the spine from quite a distance, probably even from the outskirts of the city if it weren't for the weather. It is a massive 4-kilometer high just spire in the middle of the city.
4 kilometers, you said?
Yes, 4 kilometers.
Fuck. Okay.
It is, you guys do know it is the only building, or one of the only buildings in the city that still has power. And it is basically, Lothos, you may recognize this sort of structure just from your Hive World upbringing. The spine is basically the beginning of a hive. Problem is, this is an agri world, so population is extremely monitored because they can't have too much pollution because it will affect their food output, essentially. So this city having one of these, it may mean that the government has decided to ignore the population limits that they've been placed on, or maybe they've decided that they don't want to give tithe anymore. Who knows? But seeing this structure and seeing how new and sleek it is as well, it looks like standard imperial construction. It's not supposed to be on an agri world.
Doesn't make sense for it to be here. Odd.
Right. As you guys continue to push in with the Lehman Russes, the fighting will intensify. The Russes are clearing away. They're going at a pretty brisk pace. You guys are having to jog to keep up with them. They are essentially spearheading this assault into the city. And the sounds of fighting as you're pushing in through the city will intensify. Surprisingly enough, almost without you guys' notice, the artillery shelling has ceased. Meaning that what the Commissar has said is most likely true, that the Imperial Guard is amassing for their final push into the city, and you will begin to see and group up with other Imperial Guard regiments, some of them just in the standard drab olive and green, some of them toting other sort of native to their own homeworld and mustering world regalia and patterns of style. There will be chimeras, you'll see Valkyrie squadrons flying through. It's quite inspiring, honestly. And at the front, or as much to the front as he can, is this Commissar. He has jumped up onto the lead tank and is sort of just holding on to one of the handholds and firing with his plasma pistol as you guys go through the city. As you approach the base of the spine, the resistance here is heavy. You see incredibly fortified defense positions, concrete barriers, heavy bolter emplacements, sandbags, razor wire. It is a fortress, and this seems to be where the heretic mass has converged. Give me perception checks plus 30.
So for me, that would be 62.
The Commissar killed exactly 5 heretics with his megaphone.
Good to know.
Before it failed him.
Before it failed him.
I think I'm good.
The question is, how many kills did he get through until he was still unable to yell through it? Well, unless that was 5. Exactly.
That's when he stopped yelling.
They made him angry.
Phalos?
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I was gonna look for the megaphone afterwards, but let's just assume it got destroyed.
Noise.
Yeah, it's shattered.
Noise.
It served its purpose and it was glorious.
All right. So, Lothos, Barbosa, and Phalos. Modius, you're kind of just in awe at the might of the Imperial Guard.
This is cool to see. I've never seen anything like this.
This is the propaganda that is put out about the Imperial Guard, like the holy advancing crusade against the heretic and just overwhelming superiority over them. You know that not to be true, but it's nice to pretend sometimes. Lothos, Phalos, and Barbosa, as you see this fortification, you guys quickly pick out the opening to the spine. A large ornate door, gilded in gold and platinum, just in this sort of spiraling, almost floral design spread across it. And it is spattered in grime and carbon and blood, and there are sigils that burn your eyes and cause your brain to just spike with pain as you gaze upon them etched into the walls and building. And you 3 pick out, towering over the PDF, an armored figure over 8 feet high, carrying a weapon of some sort of long, almost spear or lance. His armor is pocked and covered in a mold and fungus. His respirator having algae sort of clustered around the vents. One of the eyes is just blinking with this slow, dull red pulse. The same sort of sigils that you guys have been seeing around the city are etched into his armor. He has spikes where human heads have been impaled and rotted there on it. There's a cloud of swarming insects that seem to wave and wisp around him in these strange, almost intoxicating patterns. Do any of you have Forbidden Lore Heresy? Or I guess this would be, let me check the ref.
I have 0 forbidden lores. I have common lore, underworld, adaptus, arbites. That's it.
Only got
Have
one
everything.
forbidden lore.
But forbidden lores.
You got everything but forbidden. I got one. And that's the assassin people.
Okay, it would be Chaos Space Marines.
Yeah, we don't even know that Space Marines exist, probably. Like,
Yeah, Space Marines exist.
oh, yeah.
They're the Emperor's Angels.
Like Chaos Space Marines.
Yeah, your Officio Assassinorum will not do, so it'd
Yeah,
be a
yeah.
minus 20. Wait.
Minus 20. If it's a forbidden lore check and it's
It'd be
minus
You
minus
just
20.
keep- I
It'd be
was gonna
minus
say-
20 for the minus, but it's going to be also like minus 50 for the.
Okay, then
difficulty,
yeah,
so,
no.
yeah.
No, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like an imposing figure, and it fills you with dread.
I shoot at it.
You want to take a shot at it?
Oh,
Well, okay, so what is? So we're running behind a tank right now, and we see.
Yeah, you
this
guys
out
are
distance,
pushing
and we're
forward,
riding on
so-
the tank. Can I ride on the tank? Can I have just ran up?
Yeah,
and-
you can
Okay.
be on one of the tanks.
Okay, I'm on the tank. So, and I'm off in the distance. How far away is this thing?
He'd be. He'd be at probably standard range for your sniper rifle.
Okay, so he's like 200 meters away. Fucking big ass.
Probably
evil
like
looking-
253 maybe.
Right, that's a right big witch. I'm gonna sling down my rifle. I'm gonna shoot that motherfucker.
Okay.
I'm gonna kneel
I'm
down on
gonna-
top of it, and I'm gonna do a full aim, and I'm gonna pop at him.
Okay, I'm gonna impose a minus 10 for the moving tank.
Okay.
But go ahead and make your roll.
Full aim, get him real good in my sights at standard range. No height advantage. We're on even plane.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay, and I'm kneeling down, which I think gives me a plus 10, or like if I'm prone or whatever, it gives plus 10. Standard attack. And you said minus 10 for the moving target.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll negate the the 10, and then I get plus 10 for the thing being accurate. So it's
Lots of
just gonna
tens.
bro, they got you doing math in this game.
No
Alright,
doubt.
so- Oh,
Is your sniper rifle reliable?
yes.
Okay, so I don't believe it jams.
No, only on 100.
Alright. So as you take the shot, the tank goes over just some sort of obstruction, maybe an auto carriage, maybe some people. You're not sure. There's just a jarring of the tank, and your shot goes wide.
Be
The
both.
figure will sort of look at where the shot impacted, sort of find you in the crowd, or the oncoming mass of Imperial Guardsmen, and just sort of nod, and then turn and go into the building.
Oh, you fucking wanker.
All right. The tanks stop probably about 200 meters from the doorway. The fighting here is intense. Lasfire and solid projectile rounds are whizzing over. There's intense trench warfare going on. The Brontians are spearheading. They seem to have regrouped with other elements of their regiment, and they are spearheading the trench warfare along with a few other Imperial Guardsmen and some of them in unique armor and arms, but it is just a slaughter. There are shotguns and flamers, but it's a stalemate. There are just too many of them packed into the trenches. Even with the overwhelming force of the guard, you guys are at a standstill here. The four of you are sort of huddled behind the lead tank, which every few seconds you'll just hear the chunk, chunk, as it fires another round, and a huge shell is just ejected out of one of the port, glowing red hot. Its heavy bolts is just chattering incessantly, piles of spent shells, like forming their own barricade around you guys, pretty much. What would you guys like to do?
Well, from behind this tank, my gun, which is mostly for decoration at this point, we can all admit, is not super useful. So I'm just gonna lend. I'm sure they've got somebody inside, but just just prayers to the Omniscience to make sure that the machine spirit in front of me is gonna just function at the peak capacity and aim true.
Modius.
I will be standing probably behind. If Barbosa's still up on the tank, I'm gonna get behind Phalos. And
The gunfire is too intense to be hanging out on top of the tank right now. Like, you guys
Right.
would have had to have gone
Right on.
to a
Yeah.
more solid sense of cover.
I'm effectively taking as much cover as I can at this point.
Are you screaming?
No, maybe.
You can't hear him scream. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too fucking loud.
And thankfully, I already took a leak a little while back, so we're good.
Okay, Barbosa, you have had to get off the hood of the tank, and the gunfire just sort of spraying around this tank is intense. There will be a moment you'll hear a low thump, and there will be a huge impact at the front of the tank, and it'll actually jerk back a few feet. And it seems that one of the heretics managed to get themselves a hold of a rocket launcher. He is quickly dispatched, blowing into a smattering of chunks. But the dozer blade on the front of the Lehman Russ has been irrevocably damaged. Lothos, what are you doing?
Well, shit. So there's a lot of gunfire passing by pretty much everywhere but what
You
we're
guys
covered
could
right now.
like traverse to cover, but you guys
Okay.
can't just be like hanging out like, okay guys, what do we do next?
I guess at this point, just he's gonna be trying to move around with cover and at least try to keep an eye on the opening and also see if there's any other openings in the area, if possible. Though, who knows?
There are numerous windows. It seems like there is a lift system that is still operational, and that is really the only viable way to get up this building, unless you guys want to find the stairs and climb 4 kilometers worth of stairs. That might kill you.
Might. That means we have a chance, guys.
We
Hey,
can't
we
do
got
anything
that,
else
man.
afterward, though.
That's 4,000.
That would take weeks.
He can shoot 100 meters up at a time.
4 kilometers?
I'm Batman. I'll be over there.
It's
in
4
no time.
kilometers going upstairs. That's the
Yeah.
problem. If it was like a
I'm-
jog, like yeah, you guys do it in like an hour.
I'm grappling up that stairwell.
This is
It's gonna be a minute.
Is your rope 4 kilometers long?
I'm doing it from level to level. Okay, like I'm going up like 2 stories, grabbing a hold of a railing, shooting the other way. Zzz, zzz. I'm a Spider-Man up there.
The lifts are operational. The commissar will actually sort of run over to your tank. He's got a few holes in his trench coat now. His hat's a little askew, and there's a little bit of sweat running down his face, and he's like, right, this is where we need to be. Best bet is to go in somehow and go up the lift. Good luck finding Lady Janita. I am busy. And as you're talking, there'll be a sort of metallic thud on top of the tank, and you'll see what looks like an old German like potato masher grenade sort of land on that. Commissar will just very quickly reach up and just chuck it back. There'll be like a split second, you'll hear just a scream, and he'll say, "Walk it off, trooper!"
Right. It's been a pleasure, Justinius.
He'll slap you all a salute, like, "Good luck, Inquisitors," and just charge back into the fray.
God, I fucking love that guy.
He's a lot of fun.
Barbosa, what are you doing?
So this there's like a gate leading into the building itself, or is it like a courtyard around the spire type thing? Or is it
Okay,
like-
so the spire, you guys are at number 1. This whole area. There's a large sweeping. You guys came up from the back of the.
So you got
I
out.
stopped
yeah,
talking.
you're
Yeah, I stopped talking. I heard you guys. So you guys came up from the back. There is a gigantic sweeping park around the other side of the building, which has just been bombed to fuck.
Which
It's
is
probably
this
quite
right here,
beautiful.
right?
Yes, that's what that hatched area is. That if you guys had approached from the south or the west, you guys would have had to deal with all that. But
See,
from
north was the smart way.
north or east were the most tactically. East would have been the worst because you guys would have had to go through the heretics.
We
So
would have figured it out.
you would have figured it out. Anyway, so this is sort of the back entrance. It's not as like regaled. There's like large arches and what look to be sort of desiccated and burnt out servitors that were probably greeters at the front that you see sort of absconded and just smashed or blown up or twisted into some sort of heretical design.
So basically, like this building
It's like a
here-
large door that is probably about 20 meters across, and it looks like it's automated.
Is
You
it
can
kind of
walk up
like
to it and
that
go.
building there? Is kind of that I don't know if you guys can see what
Yes,
I've drawn.
yes, that is
That's kind of the complex that we're assaulting.
yes.
Okay.
Think of like those really, really like yuppie rich apartment complexes that sort of
Mhm.
have their own like store area and like shops and
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
like that.
exactly. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, so how tall is the building?
4 kilometers.
I mean, straight up, like that doesn't have tiers or
Yes,
layers.
it is
It's like
straight up. It is an aberration of architecture.
okay, so it's just this, and this is just a door leading into this monstrous plinth of fucking plasteel sticking up out of the ground.
Yes.
Okay.
We're
That's why
we're led to
that's
believe
why
that.
it's so weird.
Yeah.
Like all the other buildings, there are some very tall buildings. There are buildings exceeding 80 stories around you, but this just dwarfs them. And it's so out of place on an agri world that it's like, what the fuck is that?
And this was the only one with power, you said?
Yes, the buildings around here have power, but
Okay.
only in this sort of complex structure area.
Gotcha.
So it's probably running off of its own private generator, or it is feeding off of blood. One of the two.
Maybe somebody just wanted to say they had the bigger tower. Could've been it.
Somebody won.
Somebody did win. Hard to beat
We
4
have
kilometers.
4 kilometers is a lot. Do we have any clue in which part of this that the lady might be?
Your dossier. So from what you know about Lady Brigitte is that her husband is basically the most important guy on the planet. He's not the planetary governor. He basically is in control of the trade. So she sort of controls the planet. He sort of controls the planet. She's his wife. So they're super important. And
Probably
with
near the
with
top.
Lothos's knowledge of how spires and hives and stuff like that work, the higher you go, the more important you are.
So they're either at the top or at least at the last couple levels at the top. Still
To
a
be clear,
lot.
we need to find our way around because there's trenches directly between us and the door.
You could go through the trench. There's trenches surrounding this area. Like this is their last holdout fortress. Like you guys are at the end of the war. Like this is the final push, the final assault, the great victory for the Imperial Guard. It's gonna be hard and bloody, but that's what the Guard does.
Just trying to work out if there's a path for us to get
Do you
there
guys
ahead
wanna
of
see
time,
if
or
long
we
knives
let
gonna
it-
help us?
Here's the thing, Balos. You said you were praying, so go ahead and give me a willpower check with plus 20 because you're praying at a Lehman Russ.
I was in fact praying.
Not a Beyblade. It's a baby Beyblade.
It's a baby blade.
Let's see. So plus 20, you said?
Yes,
49 is, it's not terrible odds.
you do. Okay. So, as the rounds are whipping past us, it's incredibly loud, like impossibly loud almost. Your brain probably can't even process the amount of sound coming into it, and it's just white noise. Shut up, dog.
He said, "Fuck you."
Exactly. It's like you tell me shut up.
Stupid. As you let out this sort of binary litany, you hear the slap of sandals on the asphalt and smell the overwhelming smell of promethium. And as you're sort of kneeled down in prayer, the rest of you will look up and see Brother Karzus.
Yes.
He has a heavy melter, or heavy melta, and he is all of the candles and sconces are lit, and flames coming from them are almost just too big from like a candle, and they don't seem to be affected by the wind. They're just these roaring flames reaching out of this pedestal that has the scripture of the Imperial Cult bookmarked and thrown out. He's covered in purity seals and gore. His eyebrows have been completely burned off.
He had eyebrows to begin with.
He did have eyebrows, yes.
Oh wow.
This
For a brief period of time.
This incursion seems to have lit a fire in Brother Karzus, so to say. And he is leading a troop of Imperial Guard Tempestus Scions. Phalos, if you would like, you can try to figure out what those guys are. It's going to be minus 40.
And that's a
Imperial Guard.
Fate point, fate point,
Gotcha.
fate point.
well.
Only minus 30 at that point.
I don't have an additional minus 20 for not knowing things, so that means I literally have to roll a 1. Yeah, let's
Emperor protects.
Have faith.
I do have faith, but I also am going to use a fate point to increase my fate by one, might say 10. Nah,
No.
Your faith was not strong enough. They look cool.
they look awesome.
They look
look pretty
really cool.
dope, no
They're
doubt.
in. They look like they're in brand new. You're not even sure what kind of armor this is. It looks like sort of civilian power armor almost. They're carrying these huge battery packs that have these thick cables up to these energy weapons. You guys would know they're hell guns. And Brother Karzus will just jump up onto the tank, completely ignoring all of you. And he'll just jump up on the tank, and you see rounds just whipping past him. And he just throws his arms out and screams, "Yes, my brothers! Cleanse them in fire!" And you'll see him pull a satchel off of his belt. Big. It's about a little, like, twice as big as a football. And he'll just chuck it as hard as he can. And he'll just sort of wave his arms at the Tempestus Scions, and they will just light this thing up. The shockwave, I need you guys to make toughness tests.
Holy
Oh
shit.
no.
Toughness is my strong point, so I think I may even have a. What is,
Just on the spot. Holy shit.
what is that thing I get to toughness? Oh, fatigue. Never mind.
Your fatigue thing.
Yeah. Okay, so toughness.
This is the best guy we got. We can't lose now. We can't lose. He's here.
Okay. So the shockwave is unbelievable. You're not even sure what the fuck this guy had in that bag. It
Justice.
flattens the battlefield. Everyone who's within, say, a 50-meter radius of this thing, he chucked it. It flew. Like, you could say it was superhuman how far it flew. It was unbelievable. And he's just standing there cackling in his holy fervor. Heavy flamer just dripping promethium. The scions shoot, it explodes. A lot of people die. Guardsmen, heretics, vehicles. But it opens a pocket. And Phalos, as you're sort of trying to stand up and just sort of get your bearings, the rest of you, you weren't completely like knocked on your ass, but most of you had to take a knee or were sort of just felt like you got punched in the gut from this shockwave. Like the just wave of nausea as like your organs are forced against the walls of your own body
Oh.
is awful. You'll see.
Lothos, I'm gonna start bleeding again.
Oh yeah, you're definitely bleeding again.
We don't have
Yes.
time.
You'll see Commissar Marax sort of stand up from a blast crater and just sort of shake his head and sort of look around. and then sort of realize what's happened and see the opening that Brother Cars has created, and just raise his power sword, and the guards will surge in, and he'll turn to you. It's like, go!
Now's the time.
Yep. Let's go.
Just to make
Brother
sure,
Cars is still just cackling.
Did I take internal damage? Because it feels like I should have taken internal damage.
You want to take some internal damage?
I'm not saying I want to. I'm just saying I failed by 5 degrees.
Did you
I got
lose
my
it?
ass
Oh,
handed
shit.
to me.
Holy shit.
You take 3 points of impact damage.
All right.
Lose
I'm
a few
doing
screws.
fine.
Hey, you knocked a few screws loose on that one.
Can we get a bag of justice as well? I need a bag of justice.
I want one of those.
Yeah.
I don't think I could throw it far enough to not kill myself
Man,
when I lit
if
up.
we just opened up on the witch with that thing.
You could have just destroyed the whole building.
Yeah.
There's a crater. There's a crater. The crater's probably about 10 meters deep at its deepest. Like, it's blown out
10 meters
area.
deep.
Like, this was
Holy
insane.
shit.
Like,
That's
you
nuts.
guys, you feel an itching on your neck, Barbosa, and you realize that your ears are bleeding. Like, all of you have sustained some sort of damage from this. Like, Commissar Marax is just gushing blood from his nose as he's, like, charging forth and sort of grabbing guardsmen who are blasted over and picking them up and pushing them forward. They have opened a channel, though, and the heretic forces are being routed.
Let's go in and start.
Time to move.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go pick
might as well
Phalos
try
up
it,
from the
yeah.
ground.
We got an opening and let's take it.
Phalos, now. Come on.
I mean, like maybe.
Oof. Now's the time.
I don't know why you think we needed one for the witch. From the bottom of the stairs, it
heretic
sounds
time.
like we handled it fine.
The bottom of the stairs.
Anyway, I'll
You didn't see what we
force
saw.
myself to move forward and take the charge with the rest of them.
Yeah, you guys run through, having to go down into this crater, and it's not a clean crater. Like, people weren't incinerated, they were plastered. It's mushy and muddy, and you're not really wanting to look down at the slop you're pushing through. But you kind of just push through, and there is a battle erupting around you. One of the heretics, he sort of starts running down the incline, is charging at you. Before any of you really have time to react, and he's sort of lashing out with his dirty looking, it looks like a shovel that's just been honed down to an edge and the handle's been broken. Obviously wielding it like an axe, and it's coming right at you, Barbosa, when suddenly the heretic's head just turns to ash. There's no blood, no spray. His neck, from his neck up, is just gone in a bright flash of light. And you'll see the commissar sort of venting his pistol again, just nod at all of you, and surge back into his own personal vendetta that he seems to have. You guys charge forward, reaching the doors. They are closed.
You got another one of those packs? No, you probably bring
Just in
down
a
the spider.
bag.
If you want to try and open it, it needs to be a tech use.
Oh.
Tech
Got a
use
multi-key.
plus 10.
Let's back
That'll
up.
help me here.
Let's back
Does
up.
the
Let
multi-key
tech do
finally come into play?
Well, that's a security test to open locks. So if this is a tech use, then it's not a multi-key use.
Does the multi-key also go to tech use?
You
Got a
can-
combi tool too, I think.
You can, yeah, no,
Nice. I need
you
it.
can add it to this because you're a tech priest.
Okay. Well then,
I will say.
make tech use. If I can get my sheet to cooperate, so my tech use is plus 20.
So plus 50.
You're a tech priest, right? Okay.
Yeah, this is
Plus 20?
This is why you're here.
To open this door, if
So-
you can't open it, we fail.
This is like the
Well,
That's
entire
true.
mission.
That's true. This is the pivot. This is the point.
I have to beat a 91, so
So-
I like my odds.
So
Don't say that.
Don't you better.
You better use a fate point to make it 101.
Yeah, right.
I walked in
Noise.
with confidence.
Noise.
Noise.
Nice. Yeah. So you're in a fluster, right? There's death, there's explosions, there's chaos. You guys run up through all this, and you just wrench open this panel. You see that the figure seems to, or you actually didn't see the figure. You see that someone has engaged the standard locking mechanism, which is not very secure. It's basically just an electronic switch. So you just rip open a side panel and begin plugging your multi-key in, your own neural interfaces into this thing and interfacing with the machine, just brushing past tertiary litanies, still sounding them off and doing what you need to do, but at a fast, almost subconscious rate. You quickly designate and find the correct access pass, and with a intonation of opening, the doors slide open with a almost sensual gasp.
It was the glow from the paint, wasn't it?
It was many things. Let us hurry.
Don't
As-
call it the glow.
You guys enter the spire. The symbols and sigils here are multiform. Everywhere there is just this stale mildew, like you saw in the miasma, this sort of fungal growth and overbearing humidity and wetness and rot, and the same sort of psychic nausea hits you all as well. Something dark is hiding here.
This fair's right lousy with witches.
But the lift works, and it's lit with a soft blue light.
Oh, nice.
Is it pretty much right in our vicinity? The lift?
Yep, it's right in the middle. And it looks like now that you're inside of this building, it seems like it's actually a shell around some sort of natural rock formation that you see that the lift is actually sort of clamped onto. The inside of this building is actually hollow. And the lift sort of tubes up, and you see bridging walkways extending out along this sort of spine of rock.
Why does that sound chaotic to me? Why does that sound like heresy?
Why wouldn't it?
It should.
That sounds heretical.
Always assume heresy.
Always is immediately heresy is
Yeah.
suspected.
Exterminatus,
I know
go.
it's a long way up, but safety first. In the event of emergency, you should never take the elevator, and this is a war zone, so we should probably just hike. Sound good?
There's a crater
I'm
right
gonna-
outside the front door.
I'm gonna grab him and throw him into the elevator. And be like, right, let's go. And
I
just
would
gonna
agree.
kick everybody's asses into the lift because I'm bringing up the rear, and there's a lot of fighting going on out here. I don't like
I
it.
didn't slow down. You could tell because I was talking like me.
I'm
I'm gonna get in there and hit the damn button.
Fair
Halo.
enough, fair enough.
So you guys all pack into this. I say pack. You all get into this elevator. It's quite large. Probably could hold about 20, 30 people easily. It's for mass transit. There's numerous ones of them. Some of them do look like they're out of the repair. You guys do take a quick inspection of the line from what you can see, sort of judging it out with your optics as well. And this looks to be the most stable and not fucked railing.
Nice.
Because it is on a rail system.
Phalos?
Are we guessing how high up? Or do we just go to very top?
There are there are tens of thousands of buttons. So there's also a manual cognator where you could punch in the number of the floor.
Start pushing nines.
Or you could go floor to floor.
Phalos, as far as you can take us up.
I will punch in the highest number I can find, or just hit the
Okay.
topmost button.
You punch in a very large number, and almost instantly there's a sort of you hear a thrumming of some sort of mechanical engine, and as you begin fucking just shooting up this thing at an intense speed, you should be feeling G-forces at this moment, but you don't. So there seems to be some sort of field being generated around this pod. Again,
More
weird.
heresy.
So this is your time to take a nap, everybody.
Yeah, you guys take a look at the numbers which are ticking up. It's going to still take you about 15 minutes to get to the top.
I light a
Get
low
sh-
stick.
Yeah, get
And you're going at
shredded.
probably about over 200 kilometers an hour.
Ooh.
Oh, Jesus.
No, you're going actually way faster than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're.
Hey, just think
you're
about
whipping
it. Think about it like this: if anything tries to jump on, it should just turn to mist.
Nothing would be able to jump.
It
Yeah.
should just turn to mist.
The impact itself would just be.
So
That's
how
why there's
how
no
long
birds.
how long do we have before? Is there any way that they could take this thing down, this whole building down? Do we have a certain amount of time? Would you say before?
Give me. What sort of skill do you want to use to discern that?
Just a straight intelligence, maybe?
How about we do a logic?
Logic makes sense.
Ha!
Yeah.
It's a pun.
Okay. Let's see. I got a 40 on that plus.
You'd be minus 20.
Yeah.
So I don't think you have any. Yeah. No. You're not sure. You think that this sort of geological structure going up through the middle would make it extremely difficult.
Like try
You're
as they
not-
might, this thing's not just going to come down from.
They
one of
could
those,
just blast it and sort of pick at it from the shell out, like sort of like peel, like cracking a hard-boiled egg with a pencil, pretty much.
I'm not quite used to having to worry about gravity.
Oh, if you guys fall,
Falls.
you're dead.
Yeah. So I'm not.
You'll
keen
probably
on this.
Grappling hook.
you'll probably die from lack of oxygen before you hit the ground.
Yeah, it's up there.
Don't worry.
Yeah, only Barbosa with his grappling hook. Although honestly, the force of you at terminal velocity.
I have a metal arm.
You'd lose that arm.
The arm
This
can
is
come
a
off.
fucking iRobot. All right, that bullshit. All right, you guys ascend. Do you guys want to do anything while you're ascending the tower? We have about 15 minutes.
Hey, Tech Priest, you want that blessed gun
I
again?
was just gonna say I'm gonna bless my gun.
You want to bless our gun?
It only summons witches, so it's fine.
Shit.
Yeah, go ahead and start. Give me a.
Does anybody know what we're expecting when we get out of here?
No clue.
Nothing.
No.
Oh,
Chaos
big bloke. He was right creepy like.
Assume heretics and probably that big fuck from earlier.
The one I
What
shot
big
at.
fuck? Didn't see nothing.
Hmm.
Sure. I've got this new rifle.
Yeah.
Although, I kind of like the Michael Bay gun. I might just stick with that.
It's
Saint Bay.
most effective.
Saint
Saint
Bay. I'm just gonna call it my Bay from now on.
Saint Bay of the Barian Crusade,
Known for blowing up everything
Yeah.
that he encountered.
known for his thrice blessed las pistol. Obviously, I don't know. No, that's bullshit.
We
No,
need to
that's
come
not canon.
across. We need to come across that weapon.
It's been
Uh,
renamed already. We're good.
This fucking Space Marine has it.
Shoots the tower just like.
But yeah, the tower just implodes. Oh. So you want to bless the guns.
Oh yeah.
And my arm, please.
You'd only be able to do cybernetics or weapons.
We don't have time for the arm. We don't have that much time.
Yeah, I'm gonna do guns.
The guns.
All right, give me a.
You bless the guns, I'll bless the people, okay?
Yeah. I'm not just giving this to you.
What do you
Let's
need to
just
roll?
give this to-
I'm
It saved
thinking.
us last time. Hopefully it'll save us again.
Well, on the
Give
other
me-
hand,
Give me a willpower test plus whatever your bonus to tech use is.
so what did I just say? Tech use was 20. Yes. So 49 is my total to beat.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, you as you're rocketing up this spine, you slowly take out your incense and sacred oils. I believe this will use up the rest of your sacred engine
Yes, it
stuff.
will.
All right.
Do we have a view while we're going up?
Not at the outside. You see
Bummer.
all kinds of You see that people have been hung or hanged and thrown over the edge of balconies. Their gore sometimes descending down the sides of these walls. You're moving very quickly, so it's just a brief sort of glimpses, like.
I didn't know
frame
if we
by
had
frame.
like an exterior view so we could see like flashes from below.
That's probably a structural design because it would freak people the fuck out.
Be pretty- pretty-
Yeah. Okay, so you guys get the, what did I say? No jamming or plus 10 to a ballistics check. Was that what we said last time?
Well, last time the witch.
The witch
rolled
hit.
poorly.
Okay,
And
I'll-
damaged all our weapons before we decided on
Yeah,
bonus.
I'll say they're blessed, and then I will decide what happens.
Gotcha.
Woo.
Alright.
Can I have the scanner kind of going? I don't know if we expect to slow down to a stop or something, but I'm gonna see if
Just want to have it out and ready.
Sure.
Okay.
To
Barbosa,
clarify,
you're
am I picking one gun per person?
yes.
Okay, so
There's
whichever
too
one.
many too many guns in the party.
Yeah.
Choose the gun you're going to be using, the hand cannon or the assault rifle.
I will say in the future, subtlety is important. You guys can't always be strapped to the nines
That's
Right,
not
what
and,
is
heavy.
it?
assume that people aren't gonna like see ya and just be like, oh, what the fuck's going on?
Right, no, I'm always strapped. You can't ask me not to be strapped. What you talking about? I lead this Inquisition right now.
The
Oh,
pod
Barbosa.
explodes.
The bot explodes. Yeah, that sounds about
Brother
right.
Karzus is riding next to you. He shoots with his heavy flamer. Or heavy
Oh,
melta.
no.
Excuse me, it's a heavy melta.
Is it a heavy melta? I thought it was a hand melta.
No, he has a hand melta. He has acquired a heavy melta.
Oh no, he has all the meltas.
He's been having
He
a
is
blast.
death.
He is death incarnate. Woe before him.
He's yeah. Only say good things.
Yeah, so
Only
one
say good
weapon
things.
per person.
Yeah, I figured. Just wanted to make sure people were thinking about which gun they handed me.
It's a rifle. It's pretty much all I got.
The sniper rifle, the
Rifle.
only sane choice.
I figured that's what you guys were doing. Just
Modius.
for sure.
Assault rifle, las pistol.
Well, I'm considering pulling out the Uzi, but
Well-
I mean, I'm not sure that that's.
Roleplay wise, that's
You-
fun. 'cause
You
then
guys
there's
you
no
guys
blessings
aren't
of-
I don't
guys
know what to
also aren't
expect.
initiated enough in the knowledge of chaos to really recognize what the fuck that is either.
That would just be some cool gun you found on the ground.
I don't know if it works.
It has a bad
Yeah.
vibe, but
Yeah,
Bad enough,
Uh,
so I don't want to touch it.
it's gonna
Am I
no.
offended by this gun? If
It's
it
gonna be
tries to
Saint
hand
Bay. It'll be Saint Bay anyway.
Then
So
it doesn't matter right now.
like I said, I don't even know if it works. It's just
Yeah.
something that came from a witch.
Hold on,
for
if he's
fuck's
handing me
sake.
Saint Bay, can I just bless his gun 4 times? It's the only one we're gonna need. No, I'm hitting my hand cannon.
the quad blessed. The Emperor himself wept at its inception. um,
Anyways, that's
So-
what I'm doing with our elevator ride.
Lowest off portion of the spire. Just
just a fucking Astartes is born into existence. Fucking Lehman Russ comes out of the warp. Or Russ himself. Okay, so you take some time to bless the weapons. It is eerily quiet inside this pod, especially given the cacophonous just chaos going on outside. There's a gentle music playing.
I know how to make this better. Takes out Howler.
Right,
Okay.
no. Put that away. Right fucking there.
What are you talking about?
I don't need no fucking.
Praise be to the God Emperor.
I mean,
In his light and justice we walk.
it's just
forever
chanting
inside
over
of
the
there.
sound
I'm just
of,
imagining
like an
it's
80s
it's brother
dot matrix
Carthos as
printer.
well.
It's got the
Um,
same accent. That southern
So
drawl.
how big is this carriage that we're
Pretty big.
soaring up into the
It
sky
could,
with?
it could fit 20 people easily. It's more of a
So-
pod. Yeah.
I'm gonna scurry through my pockets and pull out a couple of grenades, right? But they're light
Flashbangs.
grenades,
They're flashbangs.
flashbangs. Yeah.
We've had flashbangs this whole time. Oh wow!
Yeah. I was wondering when you guys were going to use them.
Did not know we had flashbangs. That
We're
would
not quite sure, but I don't know if there's gonna be what to expect out there. But if it gets nasty, I'm gonna lob a couple of
Have
these.
them ready? Yeah. No.
Have your, just so you know,
I'm gonna look down and be like, right, you had those this entire time.
when would have been a good plan to use them.
Right,
That
maybe
mutant.
maybe when we're fighting a witch, or when the giant mushroom man came out of the room. You know, any of those times would have been great times.
I didn't see the right
Just
time.
pulls out a couple flashbangs.
Casual
like-
grenade.
yeah,
These?
yeah.
I would
like
also judge you for having those, but I sound like a typewriter at the moment. I'm busy.
hey guys, I have this thing. I heard it's useful, but I don't know how useful it is.
It's Granada.
Grenade. He said it
Not
was.
quite. Is this how you turn it off?
Lose a hand.
No, I didn't see the right time to use it. This seems like a good time.
All right, well, I guess it's now or never, isn't it?
Well, depending, and I've got the scanner going, and actually with those grenades, I might hand them over to Barbosa. I think.
All of them, or because I think you have 3.
Yeah, just one because there's no other need. I'm gonna have the scanner going, and to the best of my ability, let everybody know what pings on there, if anything. When we
pocket
slow
a
down or when we
flashbang.
get to it. No, don't pocket it. Just use it if we need it.
I think it's best for Barbosa.
No, it's mine now. You handed it to me. This is now mine.
This is now my property. You cannot complain what I use it for.
No take backs, right?
Crap.
Sharing.
No take back these.
Okay. So as the pod slowly begins to fill with the pungent but not unpleasurable smell of the holy incense and oils, you guys will slide your newly oiled and clean bolts or charge packs into your weapons. Modius with the Auspex standing, you'd have to be standing in front of everyone.
Fuck that.
Actually, it has a huge range. It has like 50
Yeah,
meters.
it does have a big range. I'd look it up.
So you're aliening.
We've been through
in the
this. I
back
am not
behind
in the
everyone.
front. Yeah.
Crowd sort of hunched over, like looking through
At
it.
some point, I'm hoping Lothos repatched my stitch that popped during that explosion.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Probably could have gotten a fresh bandage.
Okay. Thank you.
You do
Again.
need to see a medic.
Yeah, slap
I
a
tried,
band-aid
but-
on you. Hope for the
Listen,
best.
she was busy.
The lieutenant was dying, so.
First you fail your ambush, then you fucking die.
Well, you know, we could always just give you the bullet as well. That would solve the problem.
Lothos, Barbosa, you two take up flanking positions on either side of the door. Phalos, you sort of tuck into a corner yourself, having packed up your unguents and I'm assuming drawn your hand cannon.
Yes.
All right. There is a soft sort of boom. Welcome to Brigio residence. Please enter password.
I'm just gonna look at. I'm gonna look expectantly at the tech priest and be like, right.
Is it looking
What's
for
the
me to
password?
manually enter a password or verbally provide one?
It looks verbal.
I don't think I can hack verbal.
Sure, give it a
You
shot.
try.
Hack
This is gonna be security.
words. Ooh.
Oh well, I have plus 10 and then a multi-key.
Okay,
So that's
plus 30.
Just speak through the lockpicks.
so 10.
I think it's more like a USB.
Yeah, it's basically a fucking
There's
flash
no way
drive.
either of us, anybody could help him with that either, right?
No.
That's just, we're
Yeah.
counting on you.
I'm moral support.
81 was
Yeah.
the goal.
Oh, wow, yeah. You don't
Damn.
even wait for the thing. The thing begins to repeat, and you immediately just walk over to a hidden panel and just flip it open, plug in your multi-key, punch in a few keys, and just boom. Please provide password.
I will be providing you passwords. Shut the hell up.
Welcome, new resident. Please provide password for reference.
Right.
Neon
Just-
tech
and, like-
priests.
Accepted. New password is
Right.
Roy.
Welcome, new resident. And the doors will slide open.
What's the scanner showing me? As this is happening?
So as the doors slide open, you see a very open and airy, just huge building. It opened up into what seems to be a reception area, and the floors are made of some sort of light, bright, polished wood. There are spiraling bookcases and cogitators. There are actually windows looking out. You cannot see anything because you are above the clouds, but you see a ocean of clouds. You also see
Is there
looks to
carpet?
be- there is not carpet. There are tapestries, which are like wall carpet.
Even fancy carpet.
They got fur on their walls. Look at that. It's very bright. You actually hadn't realized that dawn had risen through just the chaos and smog and heat of battle. And looking out of these wide arching windows, some of them coated with frost at the edges, you see a launch pad. It looks like a personal one. It is large enough for a Valkyrie.
So this is like on the inside of the building or something?
It is
or?
outside of the building. There is a large sort of it's reinforced to the extent to keep out the cold. But it is open. The room is askew. There are scattered papers and tipped over furniture. Some of the bookshelves have been plastered over. It looks like it's been ransacked. On the Auspex. Do you have to do a check for that?
Not that I know of.
I believe there might be perception.
It's
I
plus-
think it
yeah, it's
gives
plus to
you
your
plus
perception.
20. It gives plus 20 to your perception or something like
Oh,
that.
sure.
I believe it's awareness, actually.
Or it may be awareness, yeah, something
Let me
like that.
see. It grants a plus 20 awareness test. Count as a free action for.
Okay. So give me an awareness check.
And I got 2 checks, and that says plus 10.
Plus 40. If you have 2 checks. Plus the Auspex.
Right.
No, plus 30, I'm
Plus-
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
now-
you still
plus 20.
succeed.
Yeah.
Just a thought, guys.
Sorry.
But we never figured out those coordinates for the Valkyrie pickup. I don't think we did, at least.
Right, that Commissar Binoka now.
The Auspex is picking up one signature. It's in a corner of the room, and it looks like a desk has been flipped over to form a sort of like triangle sort of cubbyhole against the corner. It looks like a curtain has been pulled off the wall and is sort of draped over it, creating a little pocket.
So I'm gonna scooch over to Barbosa. It's one person. I don't know if it's the lady or not, but it's over there.
I'm gonna look at Lothos and kind of do some hand signs to signal what's going on, and then
Gives-
like kind of circle one direction while he circles the other.
Move up slowly on it.
Can I tell? I can just tell that there's an entity. I can't tell the size of it by chance. I
Well,
don't know
just
how- I don't
from
know how the scanner
looking,
works.
just from looking at the place, couldn't be larger than a person.
Larger than the big
no,
guy that.
it's definitely not big enough to hide him.
Okay.
He just pops
Just
on
checking.
out.
Fucking
Well,
space
Just
marine.
checking. Yeah, it was.
Chaos Space Marine jacking the box
checking.
out of the fucking floor like, surprise, motherfucker.
You know,
Just
if
checking. Just checking.
If he can
Nurgle.
hide that well, he deserves to get us. I'll be honest.
Right. Just toss your grenades in. We'll be good.
Okay. Phalos, what are you up to?
Well, if they're moving in first, I will let them do so, and then follow behind, ready to take cover if need be.
Should we give the tech priest a blindfold?
I shoot better.
Bit safer.
I mean,
Not wrong.
it would not be detriment based on that performance.
You might shoot better. You never know.
Okay.
Right, no, keep him where he is. He's a
You said the
target,
password.
see? He's all
He's the
bright and shiny. They're gonna see him
Yeah,
first.
as you say, Roy, it says password, except and the doors will close and lock behind you.
Right.
They open and
He just keeps saying it over and over again.
Or
That is
behaving
Barbosa's
kind for me.
catchphrase.
Do I have any reason not to think that that's our target, our Lady Janita?
you did just fight through a war.
So no, that could be anybody.
Could be anybody.
In my point of view, yeah. I've got like.
There is a
gun
man.
here.
If you look out from the port of the thing, there is a man who has been crucified and nailed to the wall. So it's not like it's happy
Right.
inside of the apartment. Outside of the
Same
apartment
same
is a
bay over
different
here. Lake grenade over here. Hiding behind the
I
couch.
started blasting.
That's my favorite.
So I guess Lothos will just set up, just ready to shoot anything if it just tries to attack Barbosa. Unless you want to
Okay.
switch it, and I'll be opening it up.
So
No,
have you
that's
guys
fine.
been like quiet about this?
Yeah, I would have been like kind of like making the jokes and everything like that, like we were making. Like some of that would have been like, like making the noises while I'm giving the hand sign, signaling Lothos to take up a spot, and then basically I'm creeping up, and I'm just gonna kind of like try and probably like
Whip
kick.
it.
So like it's behind.
So it's a desk tipped over, and
Uh-huh.
then covering the top of it is a fallen curtain rod that the curtain has spilled over it. So you could like whip the curtain away and see the little pocket that the desk against like the corner of the walls has made.
Yeah, what I would it's gonna be at close range. So what I would do is I would like probably kind of use the sniper rifle barrel to kind of like get a like kind of be like half behind the desk, like kind of from the side, and then kind of like whip it to the side with the sniper.
So you want to
rifle barrel.
move it with the barrel?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. As you sort of poke the cloth away, there is a flash of a very, very small knife. It probably is honestly a letter opener. Sort of whisks out and scrapes against the barrel. There's a flash of sparks. And you see sort of huddled against the corner, sort of disheveled, not wounded, not too dirty. Look like they've been roughing it for a while. Is a woman in a sort of deep violet dress, almost sort of like Victorian in its make, only less puffy. There are long, elaborate slits along the side for venting and stuff like that. It's very nice. She has dark brown hair and a sort of small, almost doll-like face, round, and what looked to be what may have been once sort of puffy and almost jovial cheeks have sort of sunken in with hunger. And her hair's wild. She's like, "Get back, all of you!"
Right, you that lady Brigitte.
The door opens again.
Right.
You're that lady Brigitte, right?
I said, "Get back!"
Look, I don't know why you're so special, but Inquisition wants us to get you home. Well, I suppose this is your home. We'll get you off planet anyways.
The Inquisition. I can't leave. My children are still within the city somewhere.
Right, they're probably dead. Not gonna lie. It's pretty bad out there.
She
It's
just
been
looks
siege.
wild-eyed. Like, what do you mean? What's been going on? I've been hearing the noises, and we've been locked down in here. I've been in here for weeks.
Well, you see, there's a bit of a full-blown rebellion going on. We're in the final state. It'll be better if you just get on the ship with the Inquisitor, and then you can tell him about your kiddos and whatnot. But we gotta go.
But my children, my husband, we can't just leave.
Right? Yeah, we can, and we're going to.
Sorry, ma'am, but that is not something we much care about.
I'm pulling that Vox
We are
caster
here
and see
for
if I
you
can
and you alone.
get a Valkyrie.
They ain't here. They ain't catching a ride with us. They're gonna have to figure it out for themselves.
No need
She's-
to be so proud about it.
She
Lady
looks
and the
quite
children.
wild, and she will try to break past it and run past you all.
Right. I got
Right.
random.
No,
The
say
door
it
locks.
right.
Exactly. Exactly.
And she'll start banging at the door like, Parnassus, open, damn you! And it's just like, wrong password. New resident, please say correct password.
No, Barbosa, do not speak anymore.
Oh no, it's gonna be right. It's
No,
gonna be
I gotta grab her.
She
I didn't
ru-
say. I didn't finish it. I caught myself.
It goes and the doors like open a little bit.
I'm just going to like.
Just covers his mouth like
I'm
that.
gonna cover my mouth and grab my manacles out of my belt and walk over there and like be like, and then take my hand out and like slap manacles on her basically and be like,
She the doors open. She's gonna try to resist you, but you are much stronger and much more just in better health than she is. So it's not gonna be hard to like slap the manacles on her.
Our Poe says this
She's
cannot
gonna be like
necessary.
resisting and like
It's
kicking
for
out
her
you.
own good.
Let me
Otherwise,
go.
she might run off and get herself killed. Now, Looky, there was that whole helicopter. There was a landing pad outside for Valkyrie, right? Let's call in there. You got that Voxcaster thing? Call him in. We get picked up from right here. Mission over. Let's get back up into space. I'm tired of this rock.
I mean, I was in the middle of getting a Voxcaster out, so yeah.
Yeah. So while you've all been doing this, Phalos has just taken off the Voxcaster from his back and sort of started twiddling around with the frequency dial. Do you know the frequency?
I mean, probably. Let me look at this thing. I got a data slate.
You want to inspect the data slate to see if the information's on there?
I do.
Okay, yeah, I will say if you flip through that, because you guys did actually open up a larger dossier that is more than what's in that quick ref page, there will be a priority frequency.
Excellent. I will use that.
All right, so as you tune in and sort of announce your presence, there'll be a brief intermission. The line is incredibly clear. And very sharply, you'll hear a voice. Yeah, Roger, Acolyte. This is Eagle 1. We are ETA 10 minutes. Hold out till then.
Right.
Handle Eagle 1.
And so
Opens
I'm
again.
Oh, I thought that was to close them. I thought they were open. So
No.
my intention is to make sure the doors close, and then I'm gonna go and explore and get a layout of like I want to kind of see what would be the most defense. One, I want to like establish where we're gonna have to. Okay, so from where we are in the apartment, is the helipad or whatever like
It's-
attached
so-
to that apartment,
yeah.
or is it like a generalized space?
Yeah. After you sort of take a look around, you see that while this is insanely huge, it is almost like a studio apartment. There are tiers that seem to be the levels and floors. There are a number of servitors that have lost power and are now not functioning. They're going a little sour. The little human bits left on them beginning to molder and rot. You see a tier that seems to be a bedroom, a study. The library is very large. There's a large sort of cogitator station with multiple neural uplinks and cables and screens that are still running through information. In one corner that's actually pretty close to the doors that would lead out to the helipad.
Is there any form of like a surveillance system?
There's not. It
Okay.
is too open for need of one.
Okay.
Is there a
You-
kitchen?
There is not a kitchen.
So like a full operating table. I think that's what he's going for, really. He misspoke. Whole bunch of blood just transfused.
Just some free plasma hanging out in the fridge.
I've been.
First aid kit.
We need-
No, Lothos patched me up again. I'm not dripping blood anymore.
I'm
Got
gonna
like an auto dock in here, just like patch you up.
That's
Be
right.
nice.
I'm gonna point at the station with all the cogitators and the computers and be like,
Oi, tech priest, why don't you take a look at that, right?
I got nothing better to do. At this point, I'm done just pointing out that I can't just snap my fingers at machines. So we'll see what I can find.
Barbosa.
Yeah.
Pass me the stun grenades.
I'm gonna throw him my one stun grenade and be like,
No takes backs.
Lothos is going to kind of just set up, looking at the main door, kind of just right on the edge of the door with his barrel, just keeping an eye on it.
To the Valkyrie platform or to the pod?
To the pod.
Okay.
You don't
Yeah,
really think
it's-
we would notice
it's-
anything coming from the Valkyrie platform.
Yeah.
which is where Barbossa's basically gonna. He's gonna go to the other door and just wait for that Valkyrie to like touch down. He's gonna have Lady Brigitte basically there, like kind of hauling her around by the manacles, and then just be ready to like throw her on his shoulder and run for the Valkyrie as soon as it gets there.
So you're hauling shit around. Lothos is checking the door. Modius and Phalos, what are you guys doing?
Can I fiddle with that elevator?
Yeah, what do you want to do with it?
Essentially, if someone else were to plug in this floor, I want it to take them decently high up and then just cut.
That's
If anyone
heresy.
else-
Yeah, I was just say that would be.
Then I don't want to.
You,
do
yeah, forcing a machine spirit to do something other than its primary function.
Well, then Never mind. I would never do such a thing. That's horrifying and broken.
You
Was
could
that
like
actually
disable it. You could make it so it doesn't move.
Well, then let's do that.
You want to try and do that? Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a tech use test minus 20.
Too flat for me.
Okay.
41 is what we're looking to see. No.
Okay. Is that a critical failure? Or is that 93 and above?
I think it's not.
I thought it was 95 and above.
It's like 94, 95 and above, something like that.
You're fiddling around with this thing's systems, but given your already sort of blunt interface with the security system, you seem to have initiated the machine spirits' defensive protocols, and it's just locked you out.
Gotcha. Then I'll take a look at these computers Barbosa pointed out.
Modius, what are you doing? You are muted.
He's
You
not
can't
on
hear me?
There you go.
Okay.
Dog.
I want to go over and talk to Lady Brigio, even if she's manacled.
Okay.
What? Tell me about your children. There's nobody in this building. They're just somewhere out and about in the city.
They were out with their father when the alarm came for to take shelter, and then the building locked down, and I've been stuck up here. I haven't heard anything. I've
For
seen
weeks,
it-
you said.
for weeks. Yes.
Have you no idea what's been going on for the last weeks
No.
in the city?
No. I've seen a strange flashes under the clouds at night, but
That's artillery fire. You understand? There's full-blown war out there.
mind blown.
Yeah.
Just she looks at you disbelief, like, there's no war. We're farmers.
This looks his physique.
You've no contact with anyone outside of this room,
I-
outside of yourself.
I don't know how to operate a Vox system, and we don't even have one. We have an internal communications for controlling the servitors, and they lost power a week or two ago.
That didn't trouble you?
Well, I was concerned about the all clear. I didn't know what had happened. Of course, I've been worried. What am I to do?
Bunker
Go on,
underneath
go.
the sheet, I suppose. How long have you been waiting there?
Well,
You've talked to no one else.
I heard someone banging on the elevator, and I didn't know who it was.
It's probably for best. If you have had no outside communication, less chance you have been swayed to heresy.
Heresy? What's going on down there?
Heresy.
Worst I've seen. I've seen a lot of fucked up shit. It's the worst I've seen.
Not to sound rude, Barbosa, but can you keep the chat to a minimum? I'd rather not the door just slamming open on accident.
Give you a preview of what's outside.
Well,
As you guys are sitting here talking, and Phalos, as you're making your way towards the cognitators, there'll be a crackle over the Vox. Acolyte team, this is Eagle 1.
Yes,
Acolyte team,
this
Eagle One.
is Acolyte team.
Yeah, Roger, Acolyte team. ETA 5 minutes. We picked up a few leeches. Prepare for a hot evac.
Oh shit. Okay.
Roger that, Eagle One. We will be ready to move.
The Emperor protects. Out.
someone tell me what a hot evac is, please.
That means we're leaving fast.
I
Don't
intended
waste
to
it.
already, but
Means be
No,
ready to
like-
run.
Yes.
As you say that, you'll hear, even through the, it's a few meters thick, this glass to keep out the cold and insulation. You'll feel more than hear just this thrum of an engine as a sleek rocket or jet carried plane just buzzes the tower and strips off. You'll see very quickly a Valkyrie sort of coming up behind it. You'll see the flashes of the bolters as it's tailing this thing. You got 5 minutes.
Okay,
All right, anything useful here we should take with us?
I'm gonna pack up my shit, and then I guess I'll check the
Yep.
computers if there's anything useful. I have a data slate.
The cogitators, yeah. So as you go up to them, you see on these screens that there seems to be profit numbers and statistics and relays of trade and mercantile things, and you're not very familiar with it, but just even at a cursory glance, you see that a few months back there has been a monumental increase in the wealth of the Brigio family. It's increased almost 15-fold in several months. You see that you interested now, you begin flipping through pages and scrolling through and pulling up different programs and willing different machine spirits to bring you different information. And you see graphs of population increase coexisting with profit increase, discarded and thought to be deleted messages from the Astra Ministorum regarding tithe and things like that. And it seems that there was some sort of the biggest influx. You see influx of billions of imperial credits. I actually don't know what money they use.
Chrome guilt.
Credits always works.
Geld, yeah. You see that there seems to be a single company name attached to it. It is Siska Corporations. Sistika, excuse me.
I want to get copies of all of that.
You want to download it?
I don't know if there's room on the data slate I was given, but I do have
Yeah.
my own.
It's a data slate, but it's an Inquisitor's data slate. So you just start dumping the information here. Are you wiping it or making a copy?
I'm just making a copy.
Just making a copy? Okay. Lady Brigio will see what you're like. You can't do that. Those are private.
You don't really understand what is happening. Trust me, I can do this.
Right, matter of fact, is there anything else we should know about here, huh? You got a secret room, any treasures? You got any family heirlooms you want to take with us? You got 2 minutes to tell me. Last chance.
I would listen to him.
She'll sort of look blankly and just sort of wildly looking over her home like,
You're not coming
she's
back
gonna
here.
stand there and you'll hear, Acolyte 1, this is Eagle 1. We are inbound. 30 seconds ETA. Hot
Okay.
evac.
time to
Guns
get up.
open.
Oh well,
go.
too late.
I'm gonna pick her up and just throw. I'm assuming she's like mounted.
She's
really
gonna start
light.
like thrashing now as you pick. Like, let me go. It's still like not. You're just gonna be like, yep.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like throw her over my shoulder and then like pull out my like kind of like her on one shoulder, my
Mhm.
rifle's over the other shoulder. I'm just gonna unsling my hand cannon and be like,
Get ready. We're gonna be running fast.
Before I head to the door, I want to see if I can lock this cogitator down to a password I set.
Give me a tech use test. Minus 10.
So plus 10 makes 51.
Yeah. You spend a few extra seconds as they're all gearing up. You're not gonna have time to like really ready a weapon or anything like that. Like as you're frantically typing and inputting codes, and these guys are gathering like, "What the fuck are you doing? Come on!" And you'll hear some sort of sharp clinks, and you'll see shrapnel plinging off the glass, and a smoking wreck just silently dive past these large windows as a Valkyrie squadron just buzzes the building again. They seem to have recovered some reinforcements. It's a 3-wing now, and you do see one sort of circling back around and beginning an initial assault. You type in a few more desperate functions. The machine spirits completely lock in, accepting your input from them, and the system just flashes an error screen. You're well done. You guys run out. I need you guys to make either... Nope. 1 second. Either acrobatics or athletics checks.
"Can I still do acrobatics even though I'm carrying her on my shoulder?"
Yes.
Acrobatics.
Doesn't matter for me.
Oh, I
I'm
have
gonna have to.
2. So two checks is plus 10, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I did fuck that up earlier.
This
I'm gonna
does
use a
seem
fate
like
point.
moment. Yeah.
You're gonna use a fate point for plus 10s?
Well, I was sitting on a -20, so I think I'll reduce that.
So is 45 your roll, Phalos?
I
Or is that
failed.
for something else?
That was the.
Okay.
That was the machine there. I'm sorry, I was working at the.
No, you're good.
34 becomes 24 is what I gotta hit.
Okay. Barbosa and I assume Lothos you passed as well? Okay. You guys push your way out and instantly you're greeted by the biting cold up here. It is hot and muggy on the surface. There's almost no atmosphere. You guys cannot breathe. You gasp for air and it feels like you're breathing through cement. There's no oxygen. Phalos and Modius, you guys are also feeling this, but these huge gusts of ice cold winds just buffet you, sending you guys sort of head over feet, rolling down toward this Valkyrie platform. Go ahead and roll just a flat strength check to try and grab onto something.
No.
Okay.
They're gonna like slide off the side of the building.
Okay. Modius, you managed to grab
God.
on to what looks to be a guideline. You see it. It's very. You didn't even notice it at first. This is highlighted by these slowly pulsing lights and poles. It's this rope cable strung across, probably to avoid this very thing. You managed to grab onto it as you're tumbling and rest yourself. Phalos, you do not. Give me.
Where did the tech priest go? Nobody.
You
knows?
guys just see him. He's going ahead of you. He's just tumbling down this like a fucking tumbleweed.
Oh.
Clank, 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 clank.
I'm
You see
trying
him
to
try
scream, but I can't.
grab onto something. Yeah, you guys are trying to call out. There's no air. You guys can't breathe at all. Lady Janita is panicking.
At least she'll be out cold soon.
Do you have what mechanandroids do you have?
An optical.
Just an optical?
Yeah.
Don't all tech freaks come with a utility mechanism?
Not anymore,
No. Oh.
Ugh.
because
Is it
they're
an optical
seen
or
as
the servo skull.
they're seen as tech adepts now instead of like full blown tech priests when
So
they're
weird.
initiated.
This is a
Yeah,
metal walkway, right?
it is a metal walkway.
So my Hail Mary is to slap my hand down on it and activate my ferric lures.
Okay.
I was gonna say, yeah, don't you have magnets?
I
Go
don't-
ahead and give that a shot. It's a test, I believe, right? Like a willpower.
I believe, which I'm not great at.
Not yet. Damn.
I have no aptitudes, so buying increases is very
Yeah.
expensive.
Aptitude's
double
really
check.
kind of.
Willpower test. Yeah, it's a
aptitude,
willpower
will-
test.
Oh wow, 500 just.
Ew.
Okay. Alright. So as you tumble out, you are sort of flat in the middle of this airfield, and this Valkyrie's coming in, and it'll see you and bank off. Beginning of another circle, and you're pretty sure that you hear some chatter over the box, but you can't just process what's going on. I need everyone to do a toughness check.
Okay. Do I want to
Fail.
reroll this? Do I want to reroll this?
What's the toughness check in relation to?
Fatigue.
I have a talent that gives me a bonus to fatigue. It counts my toughness bonus as 2 higher for purposes of testing fatigue.
Okay. So
that
you would
coming-
you would have just missed. You would have had a target of 61. So you can re-roll if you want. I don't think any of you passed.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a fate.
Yeah, might
on
as
this
well.
one
I mean,
as
shit,
well.
it's the end of this session. I've got
Yeah.
You still got an hour.
motherfucker.
Well,
Or do it
that's-
again.
If you failed, you take a point of exhaustion as you guys are slowly beginning to suffocate.
Fatigue,
The
1.
Valkyrie will make another swoop around Phalos. Does anyone want to try and help Phalos?
I was looking through it. I don't know how I
I've
can.
already got a body on my
Like, do you want to like run up to him and grab him? Do
Am
you
I
want
close enough?
I'll shoot
You're
him with
pretty
the grappling
far,
hook.
but we're in like narrative.
Shoot him with the
structure.
grappling hook? That's not a bad idea.
I'll shoot him with the grappling hook.
Do you really want to shoot him with the grappling hook?
Is it not a bad idea? Like, you know,
How
It's
far
not-
off?
It is an idea.
It's,
I mean,
not
I'm
saying it's
not
good
gonna
or
try and
bad.
shoot him in the chest. I'm gonna shoot it like, towards him so he could
Shoot
get
him
a
in the
hold of it
leg.
or whatever, like hit him in the leg or something like that, or I'm aiming for something metal.
Okay.
I'll like,
Yeah. I mean,
I'll
I'm not
use
gonna.
quick
I'm not
draw.
gonna stop you.
I mean, does he look like he's about to like plummet off the edge of the building or something, or?
Yeah. If he doesn't get saved from these winds, like he's got, he's gonna have 2 more checks before he's thrown off the building.
I'd say just
Okay,
do it
well,
at this
I'm
point.
still running, and if it's still like, I'll figure 2 more checks means that like he still seems like he could save himself.
He's tumbling. He's tumbling about 5 meters every tumble.
If he's about to fall off, I'll shoot him in the leg.
Like, yeah, I'll give him a couple more seconds to get his shit right, or I'm gonna shoot him with a grappling hook.
Okay.
After- if he
you know,
fails his
you know
next
how
check,
you know
I'll
how
shoot
I
him with a
said
grappling
at the
hook.
beginning of the session, like you guys should finish if you don't do anything stupid.
to be fair, this wasn't stupid. We were supposed to do this.
No.
Then dice
Um,
happened.
Everyone has a respirator. Everyone you've met.
We don't. Okay, here's the thing. We don't believe in respirators.
Okay.
That's
Yeah. Give
government
me.
propaganda designed to get.
Give me.
Not until the end of this mission we'll believe.
You can
in it.
do either. Oh wait, the ferric lures have a cooldown, don't they?
Not that I'm seeing, but
No. You can either do those or another athletics.
well, which one's worse?
With
Like,
while he's doing that, can I think enough times passed that I can use
Stand
the
up. Yeah.
No, I'm going to use the
Foresight?
foreshadowing again. Yeah,
Okay, well,
It's after
it's
an
an
hour.
hour cooldown.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
You see glimpses of Phalos
Perception.
just rocketing off the side of the building and falling for 2 days.
To be fair, not being able to breathe is not my actual problem at the moment.
How long would it?
It's part
take
of the
him to
problem.
fall? That's a long.
Well, it's
fall.
He-
not good.
He would die before he hit the ground.
Yeah.
Throw the length of chain to him.
You could use the length of chain.
I'll use the chain. We have chain.
Lothos, you run forward.
I hand a piece of the chain to Modeus as well. If Modeus, you want to help as well with this?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll hand a piece of the chain to Modeus and I'll just toss it out to Phalos.
Lothos,
Well.
your assassin training kicks in. You just instantly run into action, slinging your sniper rifle over, pulling out this length of chain, and just running forward, passing an end to Modius, who catches onto what you're doing, grips it. You run forward, reach out, grab onto Phalos. Give me a athletics plus 30.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna use one of my last fate points, which
Want
gives
to
me
be a
plus
100.
20. So,
Can I help with the foresight?
why do you jinx us? Do
Yes.
you want to die?
I'm just saying the dice have made a choice for us.
Do you wish to die?
Last time I made the joke, I rolled
Okay,
a
let me do the
69.
math
That's
real
fine.
fast. So with that, plus 20 minus that, there.
And then you want to
So-
use one of your secrets?
Yeah, I'm going to use my foreshadowing secret. Give another plus 10.
Okay,
Okay.
so another plus 10 to that, so that I need to roll within a 63.
Should oh fuck.
Crit fail. Drop
I could
kick.
give you
Shit.
I could give you 2 more, but then I'd also
Insanity.
possibly kill Phalos.
Yeah, how about we just, if we lose the tech priest, we lose the tech priest. We tried. Plus,
You guys
know,
are
we have-
trying. This was
I
not supposed
was-
to be a lethal trap.
I was expecting.
The chain, as you're reaching out, you feel a gust of wind, and the image of the Chaos Astartes, that you know who it is, flashes in your mind, and the chain shatters. Lothos, I need you to make either an athletics or acrobatics check
I'm gonna have
as
to
you go tumbling forward from the
Acrobatics.
sudden force.
Fuck!
Barbossa's in the Valkyrie.
You're just
What's
watching.
wrong with these fucking
Can I-
idiots? I shoot him with a fucking grappling hook.
Wait. Question.
Which one? They're
Question.
both tumbling now.
Did all the chain break, or does the chain that
The link, one of the links just shattered.
I'm just wondering if, the link that Modius has on it. It doesn't really
Yeah,
matter.
can I use what I've got to try and grab back a hold of Lothos?
That would incline I need.
No,
I
it
need
was in the middle.
Yeah. Okay.
It was very like symbolic.
I would need a plus 30 to pass, but I could have done it. Fuck.
Bruh. Okay. So you're gonna shoot one with the grappling hook, Barbosa.
I'm
gonna jump out at the other one and try
I'm
and
gonna
grab.
set the okay. So how close am I? Am I basically at the Valkyrie at this point? Like,
The Valkyrie can't land because you guys are in the middle of the landing pad.
oh dear.
That's the thing. That's why it did the loop
Oh,
around.
no.
I
Yeah.
thought we were waiting for it to land.
No, that's the
We
thing.
were.
It came in to land, and Phalos was on the landing pad, so it swooped around again. So it's actually come back for its second reach around, and you guys are there's even more, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Oh, for the love of all things fucking holy, I'm shooting them with the grappling hook. Either they're gonna get out of the way or they're gonna fall off the building. I don't care which one happens first.
Which one are you shooting with the grappling?
The
hook?
one that's big and metal seems like a better target.
Okay, go ahead and do your shot, just like a pistol.
Just a ballistic skill test.
Whatever pistol bonuses you can get. You won't have time. You won't have time to aim.
It'd just be like a +10.
Actually, I'd give you a half aim
Okay, in that case,
because
it'd be
they are tumbling in a fairly straight line.
I'll just kind of like
Catfall.
I just kind of casually pull out the grappling hook, like, kind of track him for a second, and then roll. It's been amazing rolls the whole night until now.
This is incredible.
I guess we're
Look,
meant to die
if
this
they
way.
start pulling me, I'm letting it go. I'm not going down with
Good
them.
show.
Okay.
As you shoot, the harpoon flies past it. It goes through your robes, Phalos, and the harpoon extends out to the reaching claws, and it begins reeling back, and it just passes right through your robes again that are
Can
just
I try
tattered
and-
from the warfare.
Snatch it with the lure as it
That will be
passes.
one of your attempts,
So I gotta beat a what did I say?
and it
29?
will be. Okay, yeah, you snatch at it, and it just slips through your hands.
Fuck is going
A
on here?
non-ferrous metal, you metal reach.
It's rope.
Oh, the harpoon would be metal.
Oh, you're trying to use your ferriclers? Okay, yeah. You can't.
Either way.
You just can't get a magnetic lock in time. Modius, you're jumping out towards. I'm assuming Lothos.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and give me a athletics +10.
Would my
You can add your secret to it.
all right. Athletics, you said?
Yes.
Fuck.
But none of us have athletics.
I don't. Oh.
You grab onto Lothos, but his hand is just from the force of the wind, he just slips out of your grasp.
Can I use my last fate point?
To reroll.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Half the party's gonna get wiped by wind.
Fucking incredible. Yes! Yes!
Oh my god.
Yes!
Yes!
Finally!
Oh my god.
Thank God
Modius.
River is with us.
Modius, as you're reaching out and you feel Lothos just slip through your hands, just flash, this trial by fire that Inquisitor Balthazar has put you through sort of just flashes over your eyes, and you see Phalos and Lothos, you see their faces sort of grimaced and like sneered up in combat and cheering and in pain and sad and tired. And you feel just a whisper. It's almost as though a hand is slowly helping you up to your feet. And even through the buffeting wind, you guys are trying to scrabble onto everything. Barbosa, you're seeing your harpoon just pass through, and you're just like, well, they're dead. You see Modius just stand up as though unaffected by the wind, stride forward, and just grab both of them and very calmly pull them to his side. As you do this, you get the feeling to hunker down. You get just his voice that says duck, and you take both of them to the ground with you. As this Valkyrie just says fuck it and lands. The engine just going right over your head. You probably feel some of the searing heat from the turbines. The flak doors or the side doors open. There's a guardsman in a respirator, just waving at you
Rub
all
it in.
to like
What is
get
it?
on.
What are these respirator things you speak of?
Never heard of one.
You see him wordlessly motioning.
Alright.
Barbosa, I assume you just jauntily
I'm
jog
looking.
up
I
Get
go
in
and I
there.
leap
Let's get in
over
there.
everybody's sprawled bodies in a full sprint
and... Okay.
with the point of all this over my shoulder, and I just picture basically inside there and swinging there. I'm like, right, fucking get in here, and we're leaving.
The
Yo.
door, the bunker door leading into the apartment closes as you say Roy.
Right.
Extra security for them
Can't even hear
passwords.
you.
So as the three of you are standing up, and you're about 10 meters away from the Valkyrie, or the Valkyrie door rather. You hear a thrumming of engines, and it looks like a heretical Valkyrie, the last one in the sky. Its engines burning. There is a splatter of bolter shells across its front. You see the pilot, even from this distance, it's almost like time stands still. You see blood running through the oxygen mask, body shattered and broken, and it's just this sheer force of will, and he is driving that Valkyrie right towards you guys. I need you guys to make
Can I try and
agility
shoot it?
checks. It's going down. It's not powered at all. It is just literally in free fall.
I was thinking kind of like if I shot the pilot in the head and maybe it would cause him to change like direction.
You go ahead and try.
I mean,
What was the check?
Agility or dodge.
I'm inside the thing.
The thing
Valkyrie.
has a pintle-mounted heavy bolter.
Oh, it's shooting. Okay.
No, there's a door gun on the Valkyrie that you could use.
Oh, to shoot at it?
Yeah,
instead?
a heavy bolter.
Fuck.
Fuck yeah! I'm jumping on that thing instead.
Okay, you want to shoot the heavy
I was
bolter?
gonna try. I was gonna try and shoot sniper or shoot him in the head, but no, I'll just jump on the heavy bolter. Bigger
Okay.
gun, better.
It is
Fuck.
it's blast 1. And it is. I'm trying to see if it gets something for being on a pintle. I think it does.
I was
'cause it's
gonna
on a
say it
tripod.
makes sense if it's like braced or whatever, like a plus 10 or a plus 20 or something like that.
Did you say plus 40?
Well, plus, let's see. I'm gonna use half a turn to aim, and I'm going to probably go full auto. I don't know. Like fucking, I don't.
So, as you approach, you notice that this is one of the Inquisitor's Valkyries. So this thing actually has a targeter on it.
Well, fuck yeah.
So, if
So I'm
there's a
gonna roll
fi-
the
if there's
D100
a
and
if
then we'll
there's a
just figure it out.
if there's a final penalty at the end, it's reduced by 10. I don't think you're gonna hit though.
So my ballistic skill is 43.
Mhm.
So and then I'm
Um,
taking half a turn to aim, and it's a standard action attack. So that's plus
Okay.
20 already. So if I get anything else, fuck it, I would have used it.
Hold on, I'm trying to help you.
You're off
We were
by
feeling the love
1.
a minute ago. when
I'm
we were
literally
all
off by
tumbling to
1.
doom.
I'm
literally
trying
off
to
by-
save your lives right now because he's gonna start pulling the trigger on this final gun run.
What's the range on this thing? Is it in close
Oh,
range?
it's
For the is it in less than half of the optimal range of the weapon?
heavy bolter. That's 150 meter range.
So
This thing's probably within 60 meters.
there you go. Boom, another plus 10. So I made
Okay.
it.
Okay, so it is a 1d10 plus 8 explosive. It's only automatic. So it's 6 rounds.
Let's see. Oh, let me just.
Me too.
So
That's crazy.
Mine were gone
Yeah.
before we got here.
Yeah.
49
So
damage.
you all
Plus 8.
turn and you see
Shit.
sure death. I'm pretty sure you all failed your agility.
No, that was only
I made
me.
mine.
That
Oh,
was only
okay.
me.
No, I
So
failed.
Phalos
You failed?
and
Oh.
so Modius, still feeling this grace of the Emperor throughout you, you make your way towards the ship. Even the exhaustion from the thin oxygen here seeming to leave you. Phalos and Lothos, you turn and see this. You see death approaching. And you can almost see his finger tightening on the trigger of these auto guns that are basically what you see at the front of an A10. Just a minigun. You see them start to spin, and then you just hear this as heavy bolter rounds start spraying out of the side of this Valkyrie and literally blow this thing apart. Like it shatters into a billion pieces. chunks of fuselage impacting on the bridge leading to the building, which begins to creak and tilt and collapse as your Valkyrie begins sliding off of
Let's
the
get
platform.
the fuck out of here.
All right, you guys finally get to your feet. 4 guardsmen jump out of this Valkyrie, bodily grab you all, and throw you into the Valkyrie.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys are real heroes.
The doors, they throw respirators on you. They've already given you one, Barbosa. You're still manning the gun. As you see a few more heretic craft begin to swoop in. You're only allowed a few pot shots at them, none of them really making any significant hits that you can see before the door closes forcibly as you guys exit to the outer atmosphere of Alpheus. Lady Brigio has passed out.
That makes sense.
She is quiet. The guardsmen will remove their respirators, and you see that the one that grabbed you. Every fucking planet's gonna have poison fucking gas from now on. Every goddamn.
Trust me,
one.
that will be my first buy when we get to any kind of homicide.
As long as we don't have to go on any more high altitude platforms, I don't care what kind of gas.
Is there
The-
is there such thing as like a magnetic boots? We need
Yes.
magnetic boots.
There are mag boots, yeah.
Oh yeah, let's get those.
Yes,
You
please.
see that the person who dragged you in, Lothus, as he removes his rebreather, is Lieutenant Daniels, and he is sweating under it. You hear a thrum as his robo legs actually detach their mag locks. He goes, "Well, that was not how we were expecting to find you all.
No, that wasn't how we were expecting to get out as well.
Thrown above, are you all right?
I'm still bleeding. I'm probably bleeding a lot now, actually.
Medicae." And a Medicae will go over to you and heal you for 5 wounds.
Ooh, nice.
He has a much better patch. He'll have a
That
strange
tops me
sort of
off.
gel that is very painful when he applies it. It's almost burning, but it seems to be instantly cauterizing these little needle pricks. He'll sort of spray an antibacterial spray over it, patch it over with a sort of wet, almost pocket bandage like you would a burn, and then not. He still has his full respirator on and everything like that. Yeah, so as there's a few more rattlings, some turbulence as you guys pass through the outer atmosphere of Alpheus and begin making your way back to the Constant Vigil. And we're going to take our last break. We only have a couple minutes left. We have one more scene that we should go through. We will be right back. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching. If you're watching this live, thanks for tuning in. We will be right back to finish this little incident on Alpheus. Welcome back, everyone. That was a pretty short break, but we're wanting to get back to it and get everything done in time to make our time stream. I hope you guys have been enjoying this. Again, we are going to be streaming this Mondays at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time on Total Tabletop. Go check them out. Check us out on the Discord. We'd love to see you guys in the chat room and talk about what parts of the show you guys like. But let's get back to it. So our acolytes have finally extracted from Altheus with Lady
Finally.
Janita Brigio. And escorted back to the ship. Upon docking in the hangar bay, you notice that it is a bit emptier than when you left it. There are missing vehicles, there are wounded, there are triage stations. The Imperial Guard, who have been requisitioned by the Inquisitor, have definitely proved their use. But upon arrival, and Lieutenant Daniels will sort of give you guys a nod in departing and go over to his men, probably getting ready to go back down onto the planet. You see Captain Eoprim approaching. As she sees you approach, she will nod curtly at the limp form of Janita Brigio and say, "I assume that is your target, acolytes."
Indeed.
Boy, that it is.
Very well done. Servitors, and she'll sort of snap her fingers, and two servitors, these sorts of cybernetic blends of flesh and mechanics, either reserved for the most devout or the criminal of the Imperium. Some see it as a great blessing to live on forever. A lot of tech adepts do if they never achieve like tech priesthood. Being turned into a servitor is sort of a blessing for them. Humans, it's usually a punishment. This one looks like it was a punishment. It has the brand of the Imperium upon its forehead and the sort of crimes etched out over the sort of pale, white, bloodless flesh that is kept not fresh, but not dying either from the mechanics inside. And they will sort of gingerly bend down and pick up Lady Brigio and sort of cradle her between the two of them. Captain Eoprim will turn to you. Inquisitor Balthazar would appreciate a debriefing as soon as you can. I would recommend you attend to his quarters.
Will do, but first, I ain't had grub since I was here the other day. You got any food anywhere?
There is food available in the mess hall, but I must insist that you see the Inquisitor first, acolytes. If you so wish, I can have some of my men take food to your private rooms. Have it ready for you.
Thank you.
That will be amazing.
That would be appreciated.
Very well.
If I may, I do not know if I speak to you or Inquisitor with a tertiary objective to planetside mission.
How do you mean?
Well, at these coordinates, and I will provide them, the auto carriage is stored in an underground parking facility and must be retrieved if possible.
You'll see her start to connect the dots in her head as she's reading over the data slate. Sort of look to the corner of the hangar where the auto carriage was and look at you all and look at the coordinates. She's just blanched, like, you stole Inquisitor Balthazar's personal auto carriage.
That was his?
Right, they didn't let me know how important it was. I thought it was just a car. You know, it was not that fancy. So, I just thought, well, Tech Priest did it. Blame him.
She's just open mouth, just like staring at you now as you mention Phalos, just like, you stole Lord Inquisitor Balthazar's personal auto carriage.
Got it all right,
Not
good
identified
painted,
as
green
such.
paint too.
But it was provided, or at least mentioned as existing.
She points towards the armored chimeras that are parked rank and file in the hangars, like, we have armored personnel carriers.
Nobody told us that.
They're right there.
I was provided also.
Phalos?
She's just
Either way, we would
aghast.
not have left it. I'm properly ashamed of trying to explain without sounding arrogant. It's hard in the Russian voice. We would not have left it at coordinates, but Imperial Guardsmen had a moment of, we will say, humor, and targeted it with artillery paint. So it was.
She's just gonna hold up a hand. Stop talking. Please go see the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
She will walk away.
Okay then.
Yeah.
That's fair.
The question is, do we let Phalos talk to the Inquisitor or Barbosa talk to the Inquisitor? Who knows?
Neither.
Neither.
Either way,
Right,
get
look,
there.
I got the girl. I guess to talk to him.
Okay.
You want to?
I guess we should make our way there then. Now.
You
Do
guys
we know
begin
where
ma-
we're going? I mean-
the servitors can lead the way.
Okay.
So they
Barbosa-
will-
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, they will be cradling this unconscious body as they make their way through the halls of the constant vigil. You do get a few like weird stares from passing crew members or Imperial Guardsmen, but they're like, whatever, it's fucking Inquisitor shit. Just ignore it. You'll live longer. Making your way towards the Inquisitor's chamber, you will notice one thing as you're patrolling the ship: a number of those sort of bio tubes where the arcoflagellants were are missing their occupants, and some of them have new occupants.
Okay then.
But
New
after
heretics being punished every day, I guess.
always,
Always.
as you eventually arrive, you have to take the tram system again to get to the Inquisitor's Bridge. You will approach the
Is there
large-
like no way at all to track how we're going, or are we doing this maze thing again?
You don't have to. You're following the servitors. The servitors seem to know the way.
Okay. Not that it matters, but-
The Tenebro maze, it's getting more familiar, but you're still not adept at it. Like you'd still have a hard time finding your way around the ship without guidance.
Sure.
But you guys find yourselves standing at the sort of embellished inquisitorial seal across the door to the Inquisitor's study.
I guess I knock.
Knock.
Or
Are we?
The doors open to the once again softly lit, almost tranquil study of Lord Inquisitor Balthazar. The soft carpet muffling the mechanical footsteps of the servitors and your own as you step in, and the doors slowly close behind you, being opened and closed by a floating pair of cherubim. Cherubim, for those of you who are not aware, are vat-grown infants that have been augmented with mechanical pinches to let them fly. They are basically lifeless babies that are cyborgs and do menial tasks.
sing the praises of the Emperor.
They are also always constantly. These ones are sort of speaking in a low, almost whispered cant and song of the Emperor's praise. But they are creepy.
Yeah, that's
I'm not sure whether to be
terrifying.
impressed or terrified.
It's kind of it's a symbol of status, more or less. It's kind of it's clout, basically. As you approach, you see Lord Inquisitor Balthazar seated in his immense throne. The neural uplinks are not plugged into whatever ports he has hidden in his body. He's standing there, his sort of wide-brimmed hat in leather double. He's in sort of a more, it looks to be armored sense. You do see a plate of powered, some sort of armor just underneath his jacket and vest. His sword and pistols are both loaded, and they seem to have been cleaned and oiled. He also is carrying, sort of nestled in his lap, what looks to be a crossbow with a sort of undercarriage, something you could swear on your life was a shotgun.
He has a crossbow with a shotgun. That's impressive.
That's like the one weapon I want in this whole game. Is that fucking? I want that thing so bad.
He will, at your approach, he will nod. Acolytes, I am admittedly both surprised and pleased to see you successful on your mission. Tell me, what happened?
Quite a lot happened.
As I say, I'm looking over at Barbosa, like, are we gonna let this happen, or?
Quite
All
a
right,
bit.
so long story short, helped a bunch of Imperial guardsmen, killed a witch, gratis, just free one, just because you said help out. And then we got on the tower, we got the girl, we got on the Valkyrie, no one died. It was a pretty smooth operation, really.
Very good. We had reports of psyker activity in the north sector of the city. I was sending in the commandos and Sergeant Typhus, who has given me his debrief of your actions. Very well done. I am impressed, I must say. Now, Lady Brigia, if you would please stop trying my patience with this piteous act. And the servitors will dump her on the ground.
Oh, he's reminding me, and I will hand him back that data slate. Financials are not my expertise, but numbers are suspicious to say least.
You'll see him actually raise an eyebrow in interest and sort of walk over to, or actually just grab it and interface it in with his own command module and sort of start pulling up the graphs and details and splaying them out over this huge area, almost like a theater-sized hollow screen that he has access to, and looking at them all. He's just stroking his beard like, well, that thickens, doesn't it? Do the rest of you have any input on this mission?
We did encounter some of the Ketachans. They
Yeah,
were lost
Sergeant.
and looking. They're looking for waiting, I suppose. Also, some of the long knives. They were down there, but
Well,
I
nice.
presume they're still working.
There was
Yes.
a mutant at the airport. And
Yes, I heard of your run-in with the commando. Sergeant Typhus has given me his report.
Oh, they're
Well
back.
done. They are commencing their operations. I merely borrowed their expertise for a time. They have their own mission, and Sergeant Typhus owed me a favor. As for the Brontians, I'm not too familiar with them. If they are as good as you seem to say they are, we may requisition their forces in the future.
Trying to
Extremely
gauge
quick.
just my own character's perspective on how much I should be obligated to tell him about the car rather than try and fix it myself.
None.
Don't necessarily talk to him about it.
You don't fucking have to tell him shit if you
Well,
don't want to.
The
Well, as a tech priest, you're not like, you don't have to be like a holy pious guy. Like, you don't have to be like a good guy just because you're a tech priest. Like, you can be a fucking lying asshole. As long as you're fulfilling the wills of the Omnissiah, the wants of mankind come second.
Gotcha. Though I do want to try and recover the car, which
Yes.
I reported it to the other. My
Yes.
second question is based on his second reference to the Catachan Commandos. Does it sound like he already knows about the car, and it would
Maybe.
behoove me to mention it rather than seem to conceal it?
Not concealing, just not bringing up.
You assume he
there's
already knows, man.
there's no like insight in 40K. How do you think, just from your character's perspective, like role play out that choice? Like, you have this High Inquisitor.
My
You know
instinct
it was
is to
his vehicle.
gamble on the side of him knowing already, because there's a chance that Sergeant Tyvis isn't going to tell him about the car because it was plastered with Inquisition um, symbols, and it probably wouldn't behoove him to be like, "Yeah, we bullied your guy because we didn't like his attitude."
Yeah. So you're gonna just keep it on the down low.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna risk it.
Listen to the Barbosa on your shoulder and shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna regret it if he already knows, but I'm gonna take a chance.
He will recline back in the throne like, Barbosa, it seems like your expertise has come in handy after all. I did not expect you to run into an unbound psyker this late into the conflict, but you know what they say, the only ones left alive at the end are either lucky or stupid.
This one wasn't either. Well, maybe stupid. But lucky not, like, see, the warp.
Well, do I know what the... Do people know what the warp is? People know what the warp is, right?
Yeah,
Like
they know what warp travel is. They know that it's
Yeah.
this evil... Yeah.
So it's
The warp just swallowed them right up. Gate opened up, pulled them right in. Straight to hell.
Raise an eyebrow. Fascinating.
By the way, another weird thing. You know anything about these big blokes and his armor? They looking all rotten. Got these fucking eye-burning runes carved into them. I saw one of them blokes. Tried to take a pot shot at him. Missed. Blame the tank driver, not me.
There is no physical reaction to this, but the temperature in the room will drop drastically.
I'm gonna look around and kind of get more serious. I'm gonna normally be like,
Oh, he's a bad bloke, is he?
The Inquisitor will now rise from his throne. Lady Brigio, don't make me hurt you. And you'll notice that the servitors have begun clustering around you all and surrounding you all. Even the cherubim. And it's very intimidating. You see them even coming forward, their low blue lights from their cogitators and machine components in their chest, the soft blue light just pulsing from the layers and levels above you as this library rises, all coming forward, blinking. Almost as though a jury is formed.
I'm gonna kind of grin a little bit and be like,
Oh. We didn't save her, did we?
There is a shift in Lady Brigio, not just because she's not pretending to be unconscious anymore. There's almost a physical, extra sensory shift in her. Like she went from a scared kitten into a coiled rattlesnake. You'll see her sort of even just fluidly sort of just slink up into a sitting position. Her face still gaunt and tired, still beautiful in its own way, but there's this spark, madness in her eyes that maybe you all wouldn't have recognized if you hadn't run into a certain witch. She sort of look all at you. I am Lady Janita Brigio of House Brigio, and I demand that you release me to Imperial forces. The Inquisitor will chuckle, just slowly begin descending the stairs. And what is it that is such a pressing matter, Lady Brigio? You have matters to attend to? I'll look at you all. Anything that our dear lady may need, want, desire. You'll see tears begin to stream down her face. She'll begin to shake like, my children, please. She's like, the Inquisitor will laugh and kick out with one of his boots, striking her across the face. There's a gout of blood that splashes out. And she will gasp and sort of let out a cry of pain and fall to the ground. It seems genuine as well. And he will pull up with a wave of a control wand, a statement on the screen above you that is towering over behind you all, like 60 feet high. These are records that you sold your children to a potent buyer on Halcyon 8 4 months ago for quite a substantial amount. She'll sort of mopping the blood up. My husband, please, he can explain it. It's just something that the rogue traders wanted us to do. And scoff. Acolytes, about how long were you in Altheus before you confronted said witch?
What, like 6 hours?
Give or take.
At the most,
A little bit difficult to tell in miasma.
And it's been how long since then?
Maybe a day.
I'll just nod and pull up what looks to be footage from a servo skull that's sort of flipping, and you'll actually see that it followed you from quite a distance, observing, taking pics and small snippets of video. It loses you for some time. Pretty much once you enter the miasma, it loses track of you. But it picks up again after the miasma dissipates and goes to the building and sort of scans the area. And then goes through the building some more, goes all the way up to the top and goes to the executive sort of suite or office. And on the door is Lord Eldrand Brigio. And he'll smile and turn towards Janita. My acolytes killed your husband some time ago. I'll just start to chuckle. It eventually turns into this low, rolling laugh. And it's full of hate and just spite and joy at the pathetic sort of whimpering of this creature. And she'll sit up like, please, I'll tell you anything. I'll tell you everything. And I'll just walk up and place a hand on her head. And Modius, you feel it coming. There is a pulse. And it feels like a scream echoing in your mind of something ripping, coming and fuming and firing forth as there is a intense flash of heat, and Lady Brigio is alight. And she's sitting there writhing and screaming, and he's just holding her there, his hand clamped around her face. You see his hand just get tighter and tighter, the skin almost shifting and molding into a tougher, thicker texture as veins pulse out around his eyes and temples. And you'll hear him mutter, "Suffer not the heretic." As she lets out one final scream, there's another pulse, and the fire will fade and die down, almost like embers in the core of a log around her bones. And as he lets go, he kicks out, and the ash crumbles to dust. And he'll turn to you all, a wide smile. Well done, acolytes. And that is where we're going to end our session.
That was awesome.
No, it wasn't. He had video. He knows we took.
He knows of the car.
He knew it all along.
Was the car ever real? Was the car ever
real?
He wasn't yelling at us yet, so that's something.
We're not
He's
dead.
not the kind of
That's a
guy to
bonus.
yell. It's not his.
Okay,
No,
well,
he
he's
just-
not-
he
He'll
just
just
walk-
melt
he-
you.
You just disappear. You just
It's
turn to
a
ash.
coming like a freight train. I'm a
Did you show anybody the image of Inquisitor Balthazar? Because that's pretty awesome.
Let me see if I still have it. I had to go through and clear out some stuff, but I do have it. So yeah, this is what Inquisitor Balthazar looks like.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
AKA
Replace
Grim Dark Gandalf.
replace the sort of from
Dark
here
Gandalf.
from here down mostly his throat and sort of upper collarbone with that Archaeotech sort of plating and reconstruction that I said. So his beard is kind of Fu Manchu. He doesn't have all of his neck to grow it out, so it only grows from the chin. But he has sort of the long, sort of wispy mustache and the sort of vibe of "Do not fuck with me."
Yeah, that guy doesn't need to be loud. He's already intimidating.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's where we're gonna end it for the night. So if you guys are watching this on our YouTube, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the session. Hopefully next week we'll have everything figured out with the channel, and we'll be streaming over on Total Tabletop like we're going to.
Yes.
If you guys are watching this live, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. I have been Dylan. I have been your game master. This has been our wonderful cast. This has been Dark Heresy, Whispers of the Eye. I hope to see you all next week. And until then, good luck and may the Emperor watch over you.
Cheers.